Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. I'm in Dragon Ball. Violently beat the god of destruction at the start. Chapter 91. Don't get over there, Beerus. Even if the 4th and 11th universes are all lost, isn't your 7th universe any better? Quitella said coldly at this time. He was in a very bad mood at this time, but he definitely didn't want Beerus to feel better. Yes, but the current situation seems to be that there is not even a player in the 4th universe, and there is only the last one in the 11th universe. Do you want to turn the sky over with that player? It's really delightful to see how desperate you two are. Beerus smiled coldly. Although his loss to Champa made him very upset, looking at Quitella and Vermut's shriveled expressions, it seemed pretty good. Cut, Beerus, what's so proud of? Quitella clenched her fists tightly and said in a low voice. At this moment, Angel Vado's voice rang again. Next to the 3rd game, there is the 6th universe Kelly player, against the 6th universe Gabe player. It was another contest between the two players in the 6th universe. Hey Vados, what's the matter? Why did Gabe and Kel meet again? Champa asked upset. If the 6th universe players did not meet in pairs, maybe all the last 5 players would win, that would be great. Master Champa, this is their own draw. What does it have to do with me? Furthermore, in the first round of the 6th universe, no one was eliminated. It is expected that they will be able to meet in the 2nd round. Vados glanced at Champa and said silently. Now the 6th universe occupies a very large advantage, and there is also a great god Chinyu who is in the battle. So the victory of the 6th universe is certain. I don't know what Master Champa is thinking about. Cut, as far as you can tell. Champa can only complain. Big brother Chinyu, I want to take the initiative to surrender this game. There is no need for Gabe and I to fight, and it will only waste your time for no reason. Quote. Kel walked up to Chinyu and whispered. In normal training, he and Gabe and Kafi's played against each other more than 10 times. So there is no need to waste time here now. Take the initiative to admit defeat, and leave the rest to Gabe. This kind of thing, you can decide. Anyway, the final result will not change in any way. Chinyu said lightly. It is indeed a waste of time between the two of them. Now Gabe has been able to turn into Super Saiyan Blue, and Kel's passing form is also very powerful. If the two really met together, it wouldn't have been 10 minutes to solve the battle. Kel, I can actually admit defeat. Gabe smiled awkwardly and said. Well, Kel has given you the chance of victory, then you can do it well and don't shame us. Besides, what do you look like as a big man? Kafi's patted Gabe on the shoulder and joked with a smile. Well, then I will definitely not let everyone down. Gabe nodded. No matter what kind of battle is next, the 6th universe will definitely win the final victory. Oh, player Kel voluntarily surrendered, and player Gabe will no longer win on his own. Then next is the 4th game of the 2nd round, with Son Goku from the 7th universe versus Toppo from the 11th universe. Vado's voice rang again. Hey, is it finally my turn to play? The 11th universe's Toppo seems to be very strong, and it should be pretty good to fight him. Son Goku clenched his fists excitedly. He was already a little irritated just watching other people's battles. Hey, Goku, this time you are playing against a player from the 11th universe, you have to win the final victory anyway, understand? Beerus said sternly to Son Goku. Chinyu and Brawly of the 6th universe are indeed too strong. It is not easy to defeat them. So I will not force Son Goku to beat them. But the guys in the 11th universe and the 4th universe must not let them go. Ah, Lord Beerus, Toppo in the 11th universe seems to be very strong. I can't guarantee that I can win him. Son Goku scratched his head and said seriously. Indeed, he has observed the Toppo battle before. Very strong, and belong to that kind of very powerful opponent. This kind of opponent is quite difficult to deal with. Cut, I don't care about this. If you lose to that guy, I will destroy the earth immediately. Beerus threatened severely. Hearing the threat of Beerus, the faces of Son Gohan, Vegeta and others changed. Okay, I will do my best to fight. As for whether I can win in the end, I really don't dare to pack a ticket. After Son Goku finished speaking, he jumped directly into the ring. And at this time in the audience of the 11th universe. Toppo, you must never lose this game. You are now our only hope for the 11th universe. If you even lose the game, that Beerus will definitely be even more arrogant. Vermut said somberly. In fact, he regrets very much in his heart now. If he knew this would be the case, she would bring Jiren over whatever she said. As long as Jiren comes over, neither the 7th universe nor the 6th universe will be the opponent of the 11th universe. I see, Master Vermut. I will never let you down. Toppo said with an extremely serious expression. As a candidate for the 11th universe gods of destruction, the honor and disgrace of universe coexist and die with him. Therefore, his mood for victory at this time is exactly the same as that of gods of destruction. Okay, I believe you. Vermut patted Toppo on the shoulder and spoke. Then, Toppo also appeared on the ring. Yo, hello Toppo, this is Son Goku. Son Goku, the guy Qian Lihao walked directly in front of Toppo and stretched out his hand to say hello to Jia. Toppo pushed away Son Goku's hand and said coldly, I won't say hello to the people in the 7th universe. Son Goku didn't care much, but he was smiling. In that case, let me learn how you are good. Toppo. Son Goku's voice fell, his hands claws, and he made a fighting posture one after another. Ha! The flame-like aura burst out from the body instantly and directly turned into Super Saiyan. He was very clear in his heart that Toppo is different from ordinary opponents, and his strength is very strong. So the ordinary Super Saiyan transformation is definitely not his opponent, so Son Goku directly becomes Super Saiyan God. In fact, he has a stronger transformation than Super Saiyan God, which is Super Saiyan Blue. It's just that the Super Saiyan Blue color consumes physical energy, so he didn't plan to use that form at the beginning. First use Super Saiyan God to test the strength of Toppo. But, how come those fools in the 7th universe have reached the realm of gods? The faces of gods of destruction Quitella in the 4th universe and gods of destruction Vermut in the 11th universe are quite ugly. These Saiyans are really hard to deal with. I have to say, your strength is really strong. But I want to beat me in this way, but it's a bit short. Although Toppo was a little surprised. But being able to participate in the competition on behalf of the 7th universe shows that this guy still has some strength. Is it? I'm afraid it's a bit early to talk about this now. Hurry up and show your true strength, Toppo. Son Goku raised his mouth and said with a smile. Toppo knew in his heart that if he wanted to win Son Goku, he had to use all his strength. Ha! Toppo roared suddenly. The breath of horror instantly spread in all directions, but Toppo's transformation is different from Son Goku and others. There was no arrogance around the body. Only at that moment, Toppo's breath became God's breath. God's breath. It turns out that this guy has also reached the realm of gods. It's just that he is different from Saiyan, and he doesn't have so many bells and whistles. Gods of destruction Beerus of the 7th universe looked at Toppo and said with a little surprise. ... At this time, Toppo and Son Goku both became gods. Although you are not evil in my eyes, but as a duel between universes. I will use my righteous iron fist to completely crush you. Toppo clenched his fist tightly. Call out. In the next second, his body rushed towards Son Goku in an instant. A fist the size of a mouth blasted out without any mercy. Come on Toppo, let me see your power. Son Goku withdrew his right foot and stepped directly into the ground. After that, he also had all his strength, and wanted to collide with Toppo in strength. You are too naive, Son Goku. Seeing Son Goku wave his fist at him, Toppo suddenly said. Then the body jumped up from an extremely tricky angle, and his feet instantly stood on Son Goku's shoulders. Tornado of Justice. After Toppo's voice fell, his feet and legs exerted force at the same time, and Son Goku's body was directly lifted in the air, and then quickly rotated to form a tornado. Goku, idiot, why is he still so mindless when fighting? Seeing the form on the ring, Beerus frowned and cursed. Obviously Toppo's attack is very easy to defend, but this guy Goku is too careless. Hey, such an estimate has no effect on me. Son Goku chuckled, then his arms suddenly burst. Ha! With a violent shout, the flame-like aura again gushed out of the body. Directly broke free of Toppo's shackles. Do you think this is the end? Justice shattered. Toppo didn't feel the accident at all, but continued to flash his body, and instantly went behind Son Goku, and then grabbed his arms towards Son Goku's. Just grab Son Goku's arms and break it. This will not kill him, and the game can be won by himself. Call out. Son Goku's body suddenly disappeared, and when he reappeared, his index and middle fingers were pointed at the center of his eyebrows, behind Toppo. Then he kicked it out. Toppo felt the strong wind behind him, 2 somersaults behind him, and directly avoided Son Goku's attack. Unexpectedly, the 11th universe Toppo player seems to have a huge body, but his sensitivity has not diminished at all. Even Whis said in surprise at this moment. Justice Flash. Toppo's right hand is in the shape of 5 fingers, and the energy ball is directly in 5 straight lines, shooting like a machine gun. Son Goku stood still, and flew the energy racket with both hands effortlessly. I don't think we need to test each other anymore. If the fight goes on like this, it will be impossible to tell the winner. Son Goku said lightly. He could feel that there was even greater power hidden in Toppo's body. And he also had other powers that he didn't use. That said, it is really not easy to tell the winner if this continues. After Toppo finished speaking, a dark red halo suddenly appeared around his body. The spirit of God is even more vast. I didn't expect the guy in the 11th universe to be quite strong. Gabe looked at Toppo and spoke. If this guy had been met by himself in the previous round, he would not be 100% sure that he would be able to win him. It's really strong. I don't know which of the two will win. Kafi's also said quite curiously. At this time, Son Goku suddenly became Super Saiyan Blue. The terrifying blue arrogance surged. Shoo shoo. In the next second, the two rushed towards each other very tacitly. Just now it was just a test, but now it's the moment when the winner is truly divided. Bang bang bang. This time, the system and Son Goku didn't have any fancy, and they were constantly making collisions. Every collision will shake the entire unknown star, and the ring will continue to be destroyed. This is a close battle. Son Gohan and others watched the battle on the ring and said excitedly. Fighting with those guys in the 6th universe, it was too awkward, and was easily eliminated. While talking, Toppo and Son Goku have already fought hard for hundreds of punches. You must know that such a battle consumes a lot of physical energy. Especially after Son Goku became Super Saiyan Blue, his physical energy was already consumed very quickly. After this evenly matched battle goes all out, the decline in physical fitness is even more obvious. No, if we continue to fight like this, I will most likely be defeated. Son Goku frowned as he fought and thought. Although Toppo will not be able to defeat himself for a while, but if this continues, his physical energy will be consumed quickly, and he must be the one who loses in the end. So now I must find a way to make a quick battle. It may be quite risky, but now I can only do this. Son Goku's eyes revealed firmness. This is his final plan, adding Kaioken on the basis of Super Saiyan Blue. Originally, this was the trick he used to fight Beerus, and there was no actual combat. But at this moment, if he doesn't do this, he will definitely lose. Bang! Just as Son Goku was thinking about whether to use Kaioken, Toppo suddenly seized the opportunity to punch Son Goku. Bang! The fist fell heavily on Son Goku's chest, directly slamming Son Goku to the edge of the ring. Son Goku looked pained, his eyes heavier. In that case, try it. Although it may only have a 1/10 success rate. Son Goku squeezed his fist, a firm light appeared in his eyes. Casting Kaioken on the basis of Super Saiyan Blue is indeed very risky. Once the breath is not properly controlled, it is very possible to directly let the two energies destroy one's own body. But in the present situation, he has no choice. Although this is just an ordinary game between universe, but in his opinion it is not the case. Although it may not be successful, I must try. 10 times. Kaioken. Son Goku's arms shook suddenly, and the whole unknown star trembled instantly. A character from the gravel on the ring floated into the air. What? Is that guy Kakarot crazy? Son, stop, you will die. Dad, Vegeta, Piccolo and others were all taken aback by Son Goku's sudden behavior. Although they don't know Kaioken, they know Kaioken very well. Although the strength of Kaioken will be greatly improved after Kaioken is cast, Kaioken's damage to the caster is also very huge. And the consumption will be quite huge. This is why Son Goku didn't use Kaioken after he became Super Saiyan. Because the energy of the Super Game and the energy of Kaioken are very irritable energy, when the two energy fusion, the body must be unable to hold it. Although the spirit of Super Saiyan Blue may be relatively soft now, there is still a huge danger in superimposing Kaioken. And most importantly, this game is just a game between universes. There is no need for Son Goku to do this. Ah! Son Goku was still roaring, his muscles were squirming, and a painful look appeared on his face. That guy, what do you want to do? This question is almost everyone except the 7th universe and Shinyu want to ask. Master, can that Son Goku become stronger? Gabe asked curiously. But Master did not say that there are other transformations on the Super Saiyan blue color. He is betting his life. If you win the bet, your strength soars, and if you lose the bet, it explodes on the spot. Shinyu said lightly. Although what I said is not good, it is true. Once the Son Goku Fusion Kaioken is about to fail, it will definitely explode on the spot. What a lunatic. Kaffees curled his lips and said. Although he is also Saiyan, but this kind of game won't take his life to win. Of course, if it were not for a lunatic, he would not have grown to this point from a low-level Saiyan warrior who was born with only 2 combat effectiveness. Shinyu continued to speak lightly to everyone. Son Goku's strength is indeed due to the protagonist's closure, but it is inseparable from his hard work and desperate practice. Toppo, hurry up and get rid of him now. Vermut squinted and shouted at Toppo. Although he didn't know what would happen next, the anger of that Son Goku was rising rapidly, which would be very unfavorable to them. I see, Master Vermut. Toppo nodded. Now it's the moment of honor or disgrace for the 11th universe, so he doesn't care whether the method is a gentleman or not. Iron Fist of Justice. Toppo's body flashed and rushed directly to Son Goku. This punch contains all his strength. Son Goku can definitely be eliminated easily. Ha! Son Goku's last roar came from his throat. Ha! The terrifying dark red arrogance burst out from the body instantly, blessing on the outer layer of the blue arrogance. The flames of the 2 colors were jet-like, and the vibrating air rustled. Take one punch. Toppo. Seeing Toppo rushing towards him, Son Goku's eyes suddenly opened up, and then he also blasted out with a punch. Bang! The fists of the 2 collided heavily. Call out. Almost the moment the fists collided, Toppo's body shot out like a cannonball out of the chamber. It hit Vermut's feet directly. Wow! A mouthful of blood came out of his mouth. Yes, I'm sorry, Lord Vermut, I lost. Toppo's face is very ugly, guilty, humiliated. Vermut glanced at Toppo coldly, without speaking or reproaching. After that guy suddenly became stronger, his strength was really great, and Toppo's loss was also expected. If Toppo is given time to make him a true gods of destruction, there may still be a chance, but it's too late, the 11th universe has been eliminated. Bang! Hoo. The moment he defeated Toppo, Son Goku fell directly to his knees, and the arrogance around his body disappeared and became normal. Sweat like rain, panting heavily. It was the first time to cast Kaioken on the basis of Super Saiyan Blue. It was really too expensive. It was already his limit to be able to hit the punch just now to determine the outcome. Awesome Goku, great, ha ha ha. Beerus stood up in excitement, and laughed and praised. Dad, that's amazing. Son Gohan also looked proud. Cut it, that fool Kakarot, it's so desperate. Vegeta clenched his fists tightly, although fortunately Kakarot had survived. But that guy now has a new trick, which shows that he has been left behind by him again. It's an uncomfortable feeling. Vegeta, this is the reason why Goku is always ahead of you. You are not strong enough when fighting, and you think too much when fighting, but Goku doesn't think so much. In his eyes, there is only fighting. Quote, if you can get rid of those superfluous ideas, it's not difficult to surpass Goku. Looking at the unhappy Vegeta, Whis on the side said with a faint smile. Vegeta's talent is indeed stronger than Son Goku, but he thinks too much when fighting and is always in a state of tension, so he can't exert all his power. Vegeta listened and thought about it. On the other side, Son Goku reluctantly stood up, looked at Toppo in the 11th Universe Auditorium, and said with a wry smile. You are a very good opponent, I hope I have a chance to fight with you next time. Hearing Son Goku's words, Toppo's expression was slightly stunned, and then he smiled faintly. It is undeniable that Son Goku is a good opponent, whether it is strength or other aspects. In the 4th game of the 2nd round, Son Goku of the 7th Universe won, and in the next 5th game, Son Gohan of the 7th Universe will play against Shinyu of the 6th Universe. Vado's voice rang. Then Son Goku dragged his exhausted body back to the auditorium of the 7th universe. You're okay, Dad? Son Gohan quickly asked with concern last time. Hi, Topo guy is really good. If I didn't use Kaioken, I really couldn't beat him. Son Goku put his arms down and said with a wry smile. At this time he felt sore all over, as uncomfortable as being stuck by a needle. Goku did a good job, but you guys have hidden this ability, which really surprised me at all times. Beerus said lightly. In fact, I am still very happy. Especially after seeing Vermut's gloomy face. Let me help you heal your injuries. The staff in Whis' hand swung lightly, and Son Goku's injuries disappeared completely. Thank you, Whis. Otherwise, the next battle will be really difficult to deal with. After recovering, Son Goku said with a smile. Now that the 4th universe and the 11th universe have been eliminated, the next step is to fight the 6th universe. The 6th universe, whether it is Broly or Chin-Yu, is very powerful, definitely surpassing the existence of Toppo. As if the body did not recover, there would be no way to fight. Dad, my battle is next. I might lose the game. Son Gohan said awkwardly. Although he resumed his training after the Golden Frieza incident, his strength has reached the peak of a mysterious form. But Chin-Yu is really too powerful. The Dispo of the 11th universe is so fast that it looks like a child in front of Chin-Yu. I can't do it myself. So, he felt that he had no chance of winning at all. Chin-Yu is really good, just try your best, Gohan. Son Goku said to Son Gohan with a serious face. Broly seems to be called Master Chin-Yu. From this point of view, Chin-Yu's strength is better than Broly. It is indeed not something Gohan can handle. Give up if it doesn't work, Gohan. Piccolo patted Son Gohan on the shoulder and said. Knowing that there is no way to win, it is not shameful to admit defeat. No, even though I know the opponent is strong, I still want to try. Maybe it will help me in my future practice. Son Gohan smiled, and then jumped directly into the ring. Chin-Yu also appeared on the ring. Please advise. Son Gohan was a very gentleman and bowed to Chin-Yu and said. Come on. Chin-Yu just said 2 words lightly. Although the Son Gohan in front of him is no longer what Nobihin looks like, Chin-Yu really doesn't have much interest in fighting him. Aha! Son Gohan squeezed both fists, and the silver-white arrogance burst out instantly. Now he doesn't need to be in Super Saiyan form at all. Call out. After bursting out of breath, Son Gohan rushed to Chin-Yu instantly, with a good speed. Swish! A dozen punches blasted out in an instant. But Chin-Yu easily avoided them. And Chin-Yu's body stood still, not moving at all. It's really strong. He avoided all my attacks without moving his feet, and he didn't make any transformations. Son Gohan thought secretly in his heart, but the attack did not seem to slack off. Well, your strength is okay, but I'm not interested in wasting time with you. Chin-Yu's faint voice fell. He didn't see any movement. Son Gohan's body flew out directly, falling into the arena of exhaustion. What? Son Gohan was dumbfounded. But at this time, apart from a few angels, even gods of destruction is stunned. What happened just now, Whis? Even I didn't see Chin-Yu's movements clearly. Beerus asked in amazement. This is too exaggerated, right? Vermut and Quitella also raised the same question. Master Vermut, that Chin-Yu just used the ability of jumping time, so you didn't see clearly. The twin ponytail Makarita explained with a smile. Jump time, you mean he has mastered the ability of time? Vermut asked in shock again. To know this kind of ability, even oneself, gods of destruction, hasn't mastered it. A human being has the ability to master time. Yes, if I guessed correctly, he should be able to jump for 0.1 second, and his speed is too fast, so everyone didn't see clearly. Makarita explained again. Cut. So to speak, if this human being becomes a candidate for gods of destruction in the 6th universe, it would be just a little threatening. Vermut narrowed his eyes and said coldly. At this time, with the elimination of Son Gohan, the 2nd round of the game officially ended. After 2 rounds of fierce competition, all the players in the 4th and 11th universes were eliminated. Next, players from Chin-Yu, Broly and Gabe from the 6th universe will face Son Goku and Vegeta from the 7th universe. So in the 3rd round of the competition, a melee mode will be adopted, and which universe player stays in the end will be the universe who wins. Vado's voice rang again. 3 teams and 2, the odds of winning are really slim. Son Goku gave a bitter smile. Both Chin-Yu and Broly have extremely powerful strengths, and they are still 3 teams with 2. It can be said that he and Vegeta have no chance of winning at all. Cut, is that a slim chance of winning? Vegeta glared at Son Goku. He didn't say anything afterwards, but jumped directly and landed on the ring. And Chin-Yu is not ready to participate in this game at this time. Because even Broly can defeat Son Goku and Vegeta alone, and there is another Gabe who is not inferior to Vegeta in strength. Well, you two behave well. Chin-Yu patted Gabe and Broly on the shoulders and said. Well, don't worry, Master. The two nodded at the same time. For this battle, they are still confident. Hey, you mean you are not going to participate in this game? Champa hurriedly walked to Chin-Yu's face and asked. Do you have any opinion? Chin-Yu raised his head and glanced at Champa coldly. Champa shrank his neck suddenly. To tell the truth, he hates and fears Chin-Yu now. Broly and Gabe also stared at Champa with cold eyes. As long as the master gives an order, whether he is gods of destruction or whatever. Remember, next time you talk to me in this tone, I will kill you. Chin-Yu's eyes were cold. Gods of destruction. Champa retreated subconsciously. He is very clear that Chin-Yu's strength is definitely above himself. The last time he defeated himself with an easy blow, this time he gave himself a stronger sense of danger. Maybe he would really kill himself. Chin-Yu's voice is not very loud, so he was not heard by other gods of destruction, so it would not make him too shameless. Okay, Chin-Yu chose to abstain, so in the next battle, Broly and Gabe from the 6th universe played against Son Goku and Vegeta from the 7th universe. Vados could only speak again. Great, if that guy doesn't participate, it will happen to be 2-2. In this way, we have the hope of winning. Goku Vegeta, both of you will show me the strength at the bottom of the box, understand? Hearing Vado's words, Beerus smiled and hurriedly said to Son Goku and Vegeta. The strongest guy in the 6th universe is that guy. As long as he doesn't participate in the competition, the 7th universe still has the hope of winning. Originally I wanted to get a good taste of his strength, but I didn't expect him to give up the game. Son Goku said with some regret. Hey, Kakarot, you will handle that Broly. Vegeta spoke to Son Goku faintly. Broly is very strong. Although he wants to fight Broly, he also knows that there is a big gap between himself and Broly. Kakarot was previously able to add Kaioken to Super Saiyan Blue. Although I don't want to admit it, Kakarot's strength really surpassed him. Well, I see, Vegeta. Son Goku nodded. Then their bodies flashed directly and appeared on the ring. Gabe and Broly also appeared opposite the two. Please advise. Gabe also greeted Son Goku and Vegeta politely. Cut, hurry up and resolve the battle. Aha, Vegeta turned into Super Saiyan Blue without saying a word. This is his strongest transformation so far. Gabe, that guy will leave it to you. Broly spoke to Gabe. Then he looked at Son Goku. When Son Goku defeated Toppo before, it really made him a little interested. Well, then I will try my best. Gabe nodded, also clenching his fists. The blue arrogance burst out from the body in an instant. The two arrogances are almost equal to each other. It turns out to be Super Saiyan Blue. These guys in the 6th universe are really uncomfortable. Vegeta gritted his teeth, and then rushed towards Gabe. Gabe also greeted him. Well, it's the two of us, let me learn your strength, it's Broly. Son Goku took a fighting stance, and the flame-like aura burst out of his body instantly, directly turning into Super Saiyan God. Broly just took a faint glance. Son Goku's form is not worth mentioning in his eyes. Okay, come on, then. Broly stood motionless. Then a terrifying wave of air spread from around Broly's body, and his pupils turned directly into gold. Black hair is dancing in the wind. This is his anger form, which is to release the power of the great ape in the form of a human. This form is enough to cope with the Son Goku in front of me. Aren't you going to become the form you just became? Son Goku watched Broly simply transform, and then asked. Obviously, this guy's approach is to look down upon himself. Fighting with you, this form is enough. Broly said with a confident face. You really look down on me. If that's the case, let's start. Son Goku kicked his right foot on the ground, and his body burst out instantly. I arrived in front of Brawly almost instantly and blasted Brawly directly with a punch. Brawly's face remained unchanged, and she stretched out her palms, easily blocking Son Goku's attack. You should know that in Dragon Ball Super Brawly, Brawly can easily suppress Son Goku and Vegeta just in the form of anger. And at that time they had already become Super Saiyan Blue. Now, after Chin Yu's guidance for so long, there is a huge gap between his own strength, combat experience and skills and Brawly in Dragon Ball Super Brawly. So what is the strength of Son Goku's Super Saiyan God? What's the matter with Brawly's opponent? I was blocked so easily. Son Goku's face changed slightly. He naturally knew that Brawly was powerful, so the punch just now used all his power. But I didn't expect to be so easily followed. Call out. Son Goku retreated, then his eyes were firm, his palms closed, and a calyx shape was formed, and the blue energy ball instantly condensed. Kamehameha wave. In the next second, Son Goku directly issued his strongest ki blast. Cut, this kind of thing is useless to me. Brawly looked contemptuous, and when ki blast rushed over, Brawly put one hand directly on the Kamehameha wave. Click, both feet suddenly smashed the ground of the ring, but Brawly's body did not retreat at all. Instant transmission. The next second, Son Goku directly cast instant transmission and appeared behind Brawly. He kicked Brawly's side face at the fastest speed. Brawly raised his other hand and just blocked Son Goku's side sweep. The body is just biased. This guy, it's really hard to deal with. Son Goku frowned. And at the moment Son Goku frowned, Brawly directly waved his hand and directed the Kamehameha wave sent by Son Goku to Son Goku himself. Oops. Son Goku just reacted and quickly built a barrier with energy, and Ki Blast had fallen on him. Boom. In the next second, Son Goku's body was blown out. Cut. The fool in the 6th universe is so strong, he is playing Goku. Beerus's face was rather ugly. I thought that if Chin Yu didn't participate in the competition, there might be hope of winning. But now it seems that there is no such possibility at all. Even if Son Goku uses the Kaioken just now, there is no chance of winning at all. At this time, Son Goku's body was blown to the edge of the ring, and there were scars on his face and body. Wow, you guys, you are really outrageous, Son Goku said with a wry smile, and then squeezed his fists. The blue arrogance burst out directly. It became Super Saiyan Blue. It's that you are a little too weak. No wonder Master is not even interested in participating in the competition. Well, I have lost interest in you, this game can be over. Brawly smiled faintly, and disappeared the moment the voice fell. What? Son Goku was shocked because he couldn't feel Brawly's position at all. Although he has rich combat experience, he is a little bit at a loss compared to inevitably. Bang! The next second, Son Goku felt a sudden tearing pain in his lower abdomen. Wow! As a mouthful of blood spouted from his mouth, his body flew out. Then he flew directly out of the ring and landed on the auditorium of the 7th universe. Son Goku's facial features twisted his stomach, obviously it was very painful. Dad, it doesn't matter you. Son, are you okay? Son Gohan and Piccolo hurried forward to inquire. I'm fine, but Brawly's strength is really not the usual toughness, I am not his opponent at all, and I don't even have the opportunity to use Kaioken. Son Goku frowned and said. Fortunately, this is just a game. If it were a life and death battle, he might have been killed now. Cut, you're okay, but Vegeta guesses something will happen next. Beerus said with a displeased face. Although he is in a very bad mood at this time, he also knows that there is a huge gap between Son Goku and Brawly, and this gap cannot be made up by skills at all. Ah, sorry, Lord Beerus, that guy is indeed too strong. Son Goku could only say awkwardly. Kakarot this fool, can't you hold on for a while? After I defeat this stinky boy, we will have a chance to win together. Vegeta frowned, thinking in his heart. It's just that this is just his thoughts. Just know that Gabe can become Super Saiyan Blue just like him. It can be said that the strength of the two is equal, and it is impossible to end the battle in a short time. At this time, after defeating Son Goku, Brawly looked at Gabe and said, Hey Gabe, do you need help? I can, this game makes me very excited, let me fight to the end. Gabe refused. He was about the same strength as Vegeta, and he was really excited when fighting with him. This kind of battle is something I didn't feel when fighting Brawly. After all, Brawly's strength was much stronger than him. When the two were fighting, there was no fighting experience at all. Okay, whatever you do. Brawly shrugged, and then, in the corner of the ring, began to watch the match between the two. Although Gabe doesn't need his own help, if he is at a disadvantage, he will go up and get rid of Vegeta as soon as possible. Master Chin Yu has given up participating in this game, so he must not lose. There can be no accidents. The battle between Gabe and Vegeta lasted more than 10 minutes, and the last two were eliminated at the same time. This time the game between universes is completely over. Quote, I declare that the final victory is the 6th universe. At the end of the game, Vados began to announce the results of the game. This result was actually something she expected. He knows Chin Yu's strength very well. Perhaps it has reached the level of Angel. Therefore, no matter how strong the humans in other universes are, they are definitely not Chin Yu's opponents. And there is also a powerful Brawly. It's a concession, everyone. I guess you didn't expect that the strength of my 6th universe is so powerful. Gods of Destruction is naturally proud of Champa. You must know that Gods of Destruction has played many times before, but no matter what kind of game, he is almost at the bottom. And Vermut, this guy is the Gods of Destruction of the high-level universe. His superiority is evident everywhere. Unexpectedly, today I lost so terribly, I guess my mood will be very bad. Hey, this fat pig is too smug, right? Quitella clenched her fist tightly and grinned. He really wanted to go up right now and knocked off Champa's front teeth. But no way, it is impossible to fight between Gods of Destruction. I didn't expect that one day I would lose to this fat pig. It's really unpleasant. Beerus is also very upset. After all, he always felt that his twin brother was not as good as himself. And he had too high expectations for the people of Son Goku and Vegeta. Vermut's face was even more ugly. Under the clown's face, there was an angry flame and a gloomy look. Then I thought about it again. Hey, I said the three of you, are you interested in a fight with us? Gods of Destruction Wei Meida said with a sinister smile. Cut, do you think I'm afraid you won't make it? Beerus looked at Vermut, and this guy was very upset by the speed. I really want to clean up this guy. Hee, Beerus, are you afraid that you have forgotten what you lost to me before? Quitella mocked coldly. It's just a wrist wrench, nothing can be proved. Have the ability to play again. Beerus stood up, clenched his fist and said, this dead mouse, hasn't he once won with his wrist once, and he actually took this incident as a reason to show off. Come on, who is afraid of who? Quitella also made a big fight. Oh number. Gods of Destruction cannot fight privately, because your battle may cause both universes to disappear at the same time. Looking at the three people eager to try, Wissen Angel stopped. Cut, what a disappointment. Beerus could only sit back to his only one. It is true that Gods of Destruction cannot be battled, because once they start a battle, both universes will be destroyed. If my Zeno-sama blamed them, they might be wiped out. But the thing they fear most. Humph. Quitella was also unhappy, but couldn't help it. Even though these Gods of Destruction are arrogant, they are as timid as a mouse in front of Zeno. Although we cannot fight between Gods of Destruction, I think the Chin Yu player of the 6th universe seems to be quite strong. I don't know if I am interested in fighting Gods of Destruction. Rest assured, we won't use destructive energy. At this moment, the 11th universe Gods of Destruction Wei Meida suddenly looked at Chin Yu sinisterly and said, Ding, the 11th universe Gods of Destruction Vermut wants to challenge the host, please make a choice. Option 1. Reject Vermut, don't want to offend other universe Gods of Destruction, reward, Soul Eraser ability. Option 2. Accept the challenge, then violently beat Gods of Destruction, reward, 5 minutes back in time. Just after the voice of Gods of Destruction Qian Li Jiao fell, the electronically synthesized sound of the system suddenly rang from Chin Yu's mind. I choose 2. Chin Yu chose the second option without hesitation. First of all, the Soul Eraser is Gogeta's ability, although it can be considered very powerful or. However, there is still a big gap between his erasure ability and destructive ability. Since he already possesses the power of destruction, the ability of the Soul Eraser can be completely ignored. As for time retrospect, although it is not very useful for current couples, But you must know that even Angel Whis can only go back 3 minutes. Of course, the most important point. That's the guy Vermut. If he wants to challenge himself, how can he let him leave the planet intact? Okay, of course there is no problem if you want to challenge me. However, you'd better be conscious of being beaten and cried by me. Chin Yu narrowed his eyes and said coldly to Vermut. Ha ha ha, I really don't know if you are ignorant or if you are a fool. You don't naively think that you can become an opponent of gods of destruction by defeating those rubbish. Vermut let out a cold laugh. He was very happy at this time. Because his purpose is here, he just wants Chin Yu to promise to fight by himself, so that he can justifiably kill him by mistake. First of all, this fool previous actions made him very upset. Secondly, the appearance of such a powerful human in the 6th universe is not a good thing for other universes. So, since this guy agreed to the game, he must die. Ha, Vermut, I really want to tell you, you are actually that fool. Champa was snickering inside at this moment. That guy doesn't even know how terrible Chin Yu is. It is undeniable that he is stronger than himself, but he is definitely not an opponent in front of Chin Yu. Now that he is still provocative, it is estimated that his fate will be quite tragic in a while. If it were someone else, maybe he would come forward to stop it. But Chin Yu's words, he didn't want to stop it at all. Because Vermut is definitely not Chin Yu's opponent. If Chin Yu wins, the 6th universe will become famous. If he loses and is accidentally killed by Vermut, that would be exactly what he wanted. Chin Yu doesn't want to keep it. It's just that with his own strength, he is not his opponent at all, and this idea can only be forced in his heart. The guy in the 6th universe is also arrogant. He doesn't really think he can compete with gods of destruction. Beerus also doesn't believe that Chin Yu will be the opponent of gods of destruction. After all, they are usually pampered and accustomed to superiors, and they always have a superior air. In the universe, I feel that no humans may be their opponents. So many times, they will selectively ignore the powerful potential of human beings. This, really hard to say. Whis spoke slightly. Intuition tells him that this Chin Yu is very strong. At this time, Chin Yu spoke. In my eyes, there is no difference between you and the rubbish in your mouth, and even you are not as good as them. Anyway, the final result was that he was trampled under his feet severely. Cut, what an overbearing fool. Then let me see if there is any arrogant capital. Vermut leapt and appeared directly on the ring. Master, would you like me to meet him? Brawley looked at Chin Yu and said. No, you may not be his opponent. Chin Yu said lightly. Brawley's strength is indeed very strong, but the battle with Vermut should still be a little bit behind. Especially if this guy uses destruction, Brawley will be unable to parry. After Chin Yu finished speaking, he jumped and appeared on the ring. You really have the guts. Although I said, I may not use destructive energy, but there is no I on the ring. If I kill you, I can only blame you for your bad life. Vermut looked at Chin Yu with a sneer and said. At this time, he had already planned to kill Chin Yu. I will give you the same thing. Don't think you are gods of destruction and I dare not kill you. Chin Yu said to Vermut with indifferent eyes. His current strength is completely comparable to Angel, if this guy really wants to provoke him. He doesn't mind, let him disappear from this world. The only thing he was afraid of right now was Zeno's little bit. All he does is based on his own preferences, so it's really hard to guess. It's really arrogant and ignorant. I'll let you know soon. Well, the strength of gods of destruction is not something you little bugs can imagine. Vermut's face grew colder. Get me down, self-righteous idiot. Vermut's body flashed out suddenly. It appeared in front of Chin Yu almost instantly. It is undeniable that his strength is indeed much stronger than Champa, and his speed is very, very fast. It's just that this speed is not worth mentioning in front of Chin Yu. You must know that Chin Yu at this time does not seem to have any transformation, but is fighting in a normal state. But he maintained the form of Super Saiyan at all times, and his strength far surpassed the transformation of Super Saiyan 2. Even the transformation of Super Saiyan 2 can easily defeat Vermut, let alone the form of Super Saiyan. Vermut hit Chin Yu's brow directly with a punch. Without leaving any hands, he was obviously prepared to kill him completely with absolute power. Snapped. The next second, Qin Yu's palm suddenly appeared in front of his eyebrows, firmly blocking Vermut's fist. Vermut's fist could hardly advance by half a point. What's the matter with this guy? A look of horror appeared on Vermut's face for an instant. He actually saw through his attack, and easily blocked it. This completely exceeded his expectations. Don't tell me that this is the power gods of destruction is proud of. If that's the case, it really disappoints me. Qin Yu squinted, looking at Vermut in a playful tone. No. Impossible. Vermut panicked. His punch just now was aimed at killing Qin Yu, so it took almost 70% to 80% of his power. I didn't expect to be blocked so easily. What the hell is that guy Vermut doing? Both Beerus and Quitella were a little confused. Is Vermut playing with a punch? He was easily blocked by others. It seems so. Vermut is not Qin Yu's opponent at all. Judging from his performance just now, his strength far surpasses gods of destruction, and even, maybe comparable to Angel. Whis' voice is very small, obviously a little shocked. This is his instinct. He had never seen such a powerful human being. Snapped. And just when everyone didn't know why, Qin Yu swept Vermut's chest with one leg. Directly swept Vermut out. Wow. A mouthful of blood spurted directly from his mouth, with a painful look on his face. No. Impossible. It's absolutely impossible. He is just a human being, just a little bug. How can he be so strong? Vermut was holding his chest, completely dumbfounded. Qin Yu's power is beyond his imagination. Containing the energy ball. Suddenly, Vermut's voice came out of his throat. A pale golden energy shield directly wrapped Qin Yu. Asshole, you are dead this time. Destroy flying cards. At the next moment, Vermut's fingers sewed 8 purple cards, which were condensed from destructive energy. That fellow Vermut is ready to kill. Flying cards with destructive energy condensed, even I dare not underestimate the lethality. It seems that the human being in the 6th universe is more ill-fortuned. Looking at Vermut in a rage, Beerus said, I have to admit that the guy in the 6th universe is indeed very powerful. He just kicked Vermut with just one leg. But anyway, humankind is human after all. In the face of the destructive power of gods of destruction, there is no resistance at all. Because of the real gods of destruction, his destructive energy contains the laws of the universe, which is different from some candidates who have learned the fur of gods of destruction. Hey, kill that fool, Quitella said with a wicked smile, gloating. A human being with such a strong strength is a humiliation for gods of destruction. Of course, Champa has the same idea. After all, Qin Yu might kill himself directly. But Vermut and the others do not have the guts, so Qin Yu's threat to him far exceeds that of Vermut and Quitella. Shoo, the 8 cards are like 8 horrible air blades, flying towards Qin Yu with the energy of destruction. Master, Big Brother Qin Yu. After feeling the terrifying energy, Brawley and Kafi's faces became heavy. Only number 18 has a calm face because she believes in Qin Yu very much. He doesn't believe that the clown can hurt Qin Yu. The energy flying card instantly hit Qin Yu's body. Qin Yu didn't even evade, allowing the energy card to hit his body. Vermut has a grim face, waiting for the picture of Qin Yu disappearing. But when the flying card hit Qin Yu, Vermut's face changed wildly. Because when those flying cards hit Qin Yu's body, they disappeared without a trace. What's the matter? Destructive energy is actually ineffective to him. Impossible, it is absolutely impossible. Seeing what happened before him, Vermut's face was instantly shocked. Are you kidding me? If you have to destroy the flying cards, even other gods of destruction are not easy to connect. The guy didn't evade at all, took all the cards with his body, and he was completely fine. Impossible, this is something he couldn't even dream of. Not only Vermut, the 7th universe gods of destruction Beerus and the 4th universe gods of destruction Quitella were equally shocked. Stormy waves rolled in my heart. They are very aware of the tyranny of destruction energy. There is nothing in the universe that cannot be destroyed. But Vermut's flying cards were indeed destructive energy condensed just now. Even the destructive energy is of no use to him. That can only mean that the guy himself has the destructive energy. Beerus frowned tightly. Although they didn't want to believe this kind of thing, there was only one explanation for what happened before them. That's right, Lord Beerus, that Qin Yu really mastered gods of destruction. Huh, But I haven't heard my sister say that there are candidates for gods of destruction in the 6th universe. Whis rubbed his chin, and said in a strange way. It is not surprising that a universe candidate, gods of destruction, has the power of destruction. But this guy shouldn't be the gods of destruction in the 6th universe. If so, he would definitely know this. Cut, he has the destructive energy, and Champa's scrupulous guy can tolerate him. That can only mean that his strength has far surpassed Champa, so that Champa himself dare not destroy him. Beerus thought for a while and said, "It's so strong, even gods of destruction is not his opponent. The same as Saiyan, I really want to know how he practices." Son Goku looked at Chin Yu enviously, muttering to himself. His strength should be much more than that. Didn't you notice Kakarot? He has never been transformed from beginning to end. With such a strong strength, if he can't become a super game, I absolutely don't believe it. Vegeta also said with jealousy. Also as Saiyan, I didn't expect Saiyan in the 6th universe to be so much better than them. It can be said that it is not on the same level at all. At first he thought he and Kakarot were strong enough, but now it seems that they are still far away. Yeah, he hasn't become Super Saiyan so much anymore. If he transforms again, it is really unimaginable. Son Goku also suddenly realized that Vegeta was right. Chin Yu definitely hasn't displayed all his power yet. Bilu on the side frowned tightly when he heard the conversation between the two. And at this time in the ring. Is this your trick? It doesn't seem to work at all, it's not even a tickle. Tell me gods of destruction is so weak. Chin Yu clenched his fist, and the energy shield around his body shattered directly. It's as vulnerable as a bubble. But, what the hell is going on with this fool? Vermut's heart is already panicking. The flying card just now was indeed my own trick, but I didn't expect it to be completely useless for Chin Yu. Since you have no means, then I should fulfill my promise just now. Chin Yu narrowed his eyes, and the cold light flashed in his eyes. Call out. The next second, the body suddenly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already behind Vermut, and his right hand stuck out like lightning. There was no chance for Vermut to react at all. He grabbed Champa's neck directly, and picked Vermut up like a chicken. Asshole, dirty ants, let me go. Humiliation. The endless humiliation made Vermut growl frantically. He was treated like this by a human in front of other gods of destruction. I'll be laughed at by that Beerus in the future. Absolutely unforgivable. It seems that the so-called gods of destruction is just a matter of lip service. Chin Yu directly slammed Vermut to the ground, setting his body directly into the ground. Wow, a mouthful of sour water mixed with purple blood sprayed out from his mouth. An angry face was mixed with pain. You rubbish gods of destruction, you should be trampled underfoot. Chin Yu's voice fell, and he stepped directly on Vermut's chest. The ground collapsed again, and the cracks spread in all directions. Take your stinky feet away, you fool. I will never forgive you. Vermut was even crazier, yelling out of reason. At this time, Beerus and Quitella, including Champa, had cold sweats on their foreheads. One side of his back is even colder. Humanity, when was it so powerful? Look at you now lying at my feet like a poor dog, what right do you have to let me go? Initially, I didn't have a good impression of you, and the game was over when the game was over. The good ones came to provoke me. Aren't you okay? Chin Yu slowly squatted down, patted Vermut's face, and said with a sneer. He really doesn't like virtue very much, because he always feels like he behaves very sinisterly. However, Chin Yu did nothing in today's game. Other gods of destruction caused friction. But because they don't want to cause trouble, it doesn't mean they can find trouble. Cut. Vermut seemed to have never been so humiliated, and his angry lips trembled. It's just that Chin Yu's head was pressed directly on the ground, and he didn't have the strength to resist. At this time, Quitella's face in the 4th universe was tangled. In fact, he had the same idea as Vermut, and he didn't want a human in the 6th universe to be above gods of destruction. A person's strength surpasses gods of destruction. No matter which universe he is a human being, this is definitely a humiliation to gods of destruction. It's just that now he is very afraid of Chin Yu. This guy is too strong. The strength of himself and Vermut are equal. This guy can defeat Vermut so easily and can also ignore its destruction. That means that he must not be able to beat him. Call out. Quitella had an idea, and suddenly her body appeared beside Beerus in a flash. Hi, Beerus. Although we have had some conflicts and some gaps, as gods of destruction, you should be very upset when you see this scene. Quitella said to Beerus. As an opponent, he also knows Beerus very well. This guy's self-esteem is stronger than anyone else, and he is very arrogant. I can't understand that a human being is above gods of destruction, then Beerus must have the same idea. If you are alone, it is indeed not that human opponent, but adding Beerus is different. Although this guy is a little weaker than himself in strength, his overall strength is really inferior to him. In particular, he is the only gods of destruction who understands imperfect and easy work. Cut, do you tell me this kind of thing? Beerus glanced at Quitella lightly. His psychology is really uncomfortable, especially Chin Yu's sentence just now, gods of destruction should be trampled under his feet. This makes him quite uncomfortable as gods of destruction. Let's join hands. The strength of that human being is very strong. With my strength alone, there is no way to defeat him. But I think as long as the two of us work together, we can definitely teach him to eradicate it. How about the common dignity of gods of destruction? Quitella stared at Beerus sinisterly and asked. It turns out that this dead mouse wants me to join forces with him to deal with Chin Yu. Beerus skimmed Quitella, thinking secretly in his heart. Whis has already said that Chin Yu's power is very powerful, far surpassing gods of destruction. It is even possible that his strength is close to angel. Although he was very upset with Chin Yu, his instinct told him that this human being is very difficult to provoke. Now Quitella actually wants to pull herself against him. What a joke. He can easily step Vermut under his feet. So even if the three of them work together, they will definitely not be able to beat it. Quitella wants to die, but she won't accompany him. Okay, I agreed. Beerus smiled suddenly, nodded to Quitella, and turned his head with a wicked smile. It seems that Beerus is also very knowledgeable. Okay, then I call 1 2 3, and we will go together. Quitella didn't expect Beerus to agree so readily. 1 2 3, call out. After Quitella counted to 3, his body jumped into the ring instantly, at an amazing speed. Only, Beerus didn't move behind. What? The fool Beerus lied to me. Quitella immediately realized that she had been fooled by Beerus. It's just that his situation is very embarrassing at this time. Now that this ring has appeared, the fool also knows that he wants to fight Chin Yu. Ha, Quitella is really silly and cute. Beerus sneered, hugging his arms. At this moment, Chin Yu looked back at Quitella the mouse. What, you want to challenge me too? Chin Yu looked at Quitella with cold eyes. At the moment when Chin Yu's gaze was locked, Quitella suddenly felt a very dangerous feeling. He had never felt this powerful sense of oppression except Zeno and Grand Priest. How is it possible? I am a dignified gods of destruction, how can I be frightened by a human being? Fight! Quitella clenched his fists tightly, and the arrow was on the string at this time. If he was too persuaded, he would definitely be ridiculed by other gods of destruction in the future. Cut it, it's just a human being, so I don't want to be overwhelmed in front of gods of destruction. Quitella could only gritted her teeth and said to Chin Yu in a cold voice. In fact, his heart is very bitter now. If the Beerus didn't agree to join hands with him, he would never do it alone. But now, he has no retreat at all. A mere human. Sometimes I really wonder if you destructive minds are getting shit, knowing that they will end up being beaten, but one by one is still so unwilling to hesitate. Chin Yu said to Quitella while shaking his head. Something arrogant, I will destroy you now. Quitella's palms instantly condensed a huge destructive energy. Go to hell, humans. The moment the destructive energy in Quitella's hand condensed, it directly blasted towards Chin Yu. The little mouse who lives and lives, then I will let you remember. Chin Yu's body flashed suddenly, and he directly shattered Quitella's destructive energy. Then a punch hit Quitella's chest. Wow! The moment a mouthful of blood spurted, Quitella flew upside down. Chin Yu disappeared again, caught up with Quitella, grabbed his face, and thrust it directly towards the ground. Rumble! The whole ring exploded in an instant, and Quitella was pressed to the ground by Chin Yu. With just one punch, Quitella completely lost his combat effectiveness. Guru! Seeing the extremely fierce Chin Yu, Beerus swallowed with a dazed expression. Is this guy really a human? I'm so grateful that I made a wise decision just now. Angel Konako from the 4th universe and Angel Makarita from the 11th universe appeared in front of Chin Yu. Mr. Chin Yu, it's almost enough. Master Gods of Destruction was beaten like this by you, I think your anger should almost disappear. Angel Makarita still had a small smile on her face, and said to Chin Yu. Their angel has the responsibility to protect the integrity of Gods of Destruction. At this time Vermut and Quitella had no strength to fight back, so they had to take action to stop Chin Yu. What if I say my anger hasn't subsided? Chin Yu turned his head and looked at Makarita, and said with a faint smile. If the two of them want to make a move, then just look at the strength of Angel. What is the difference? Moreover, if he remembers correctly, can Angel fight with all his strength? Because then they will disappear completely. Therefore, even if it is the two angels of Makarita and Konica, Chin Yu doesn't care at all. Mr. Chin Yu, enough is enough. It is undeniable that you are very strong. Even Gods of Destruction is not your opponent, but it is not so easy to kill Gods of Destruction under our hands. Konik said with a serious face. Yes, since you said that, let me learn about Angel's strength. Chin Yu raised the corner of his mouth and said lightly. And just after Chin Yu's voice fell, he suddenly felt a very, very dangerous feeling. It was as if at that moment, I was instantly surrounded by death. This feeling should be fed back to me by the system, because the last time Gods of Destruction Champa descended on the planet Salata, I also had this feeling. The moment that feeling appeared, Chin Yu quickly raised his head and saw three very familiar figures. Wearing fancy costumes, the style of painting is extremely simple. A simple 3-inch dice was sandwiched between two lanky big men. Zeno. Quote, the moment Chin Yu saw the three figures, Chin Yu's brows wrinkled tightly. Sure enough, the sense of danger that suddenly appeared just now was Zeno and the two guards. Seeing Chin Yu suddenly raised his head, everyone looked over there. All, Master Zeno, Champa and Beerus were sweating profusely in an instant, and there was a look of fear on their faces. Even Whis, Vados, Konako and Makarita are angels and they are also surprised. Obviously, none of them thought that Zeno would suddenly appear in such a place. Huh, who are those three? Why suddenly appeared in the sky above the ring, and seeing Master Beerus's appearance, it seemed that he was scared of him. Son Goku looked at Beerus, then looked at the three figures in the sky, and asked in a puzzled way. Logically speaking, Gods of Destruction Beerus is the most powerful god in the universe. There can be no talents he is afraid of. I don't know, I can't feel the difference at all. Vegeta shook his head and said. I feel that there is no difference between the three people. The only difference is that the style of painting is too simple. All, why did Zeno-sama come to such a place? Beerus was shaking, his forehead was already sweating profusely. Master Beerus, isn't it a bit impolite to stand here and watch Master Zeno? At this moment Whis suddenly reminded him. It's up to you. Beerus frowned tightly, then his body flashed and appeared on the ring in an instant. Champa also trembling and followed closely behind. The two fell on the ring almost at the same time and fell directly to the ground. All, Zeno-sama, come here, you are welcome. 4 angels, Whis and Vados, stand behind Beerus and Champa. Master Zeno, I've been greeted for a long time, don't come here without problems. Whis people also greeted Zeno one by one, but obviously not as nervous as a few Gods of Destruction. Okay, Zeno nodded, staring at everyone. What are they doing while lying there? Can you stand up? Zeno looked at Vermut and Quitella tucked in the ground, Kawaii's voice said. Hearing Zeno's words, Chin Yu flashed directly and appeared aside. He does have the ability to compete with Angel, but in front of Zeno, he definitely doesn't dare to be too arrogant. This little bit, but controls the life and death of all universes. As long as he holds the palm of his hand lightly, he can destroy a universe. It may only take a thought to kill yourself. He can beat Gods of Destruction violently, ignoring Angel. But this small thing is definitely not something that the current self can provoke. The wands in the hands of Konik and Makarita waved, and Vermut and Quitella's bodies healed instantly. Meet Master Zeno. When they recovered from their injuries, they knelt beside Beerus and Champa at the fastest speed. Very nervous. You must know that this time they belong to the private activities between universes, and now that Master Zeno knows about them, they will probably be punished. The punishment for adults across the network is generally not too small. Maybe it will directly replace gods of destruction. And replacing gods of destruction means that they will be eliminated directly. Zeno still smiled and nodded. What exactly is going on? Who is that kid? Why do all the gods of destruction see him like a mouse and a cat? At this time, in the auditorium of the sixth universe, both Kaffees and Brawley looked at the situation on the ring with shocked faces. Although I don't know who he is, and I can't feel any powerful aura, but the person who can make gods of destruction so scared is definitely a very powerful person. And have you seen it? Even the master seems very nervous. Gabe looked at Qin Qian Wang's you and said, "You know, master doesn't even care about gods of destruction, and he killed 2 gods of destruction in an instant." Seeing that little bit at this time, there was a solemn expression on his face. This is enough to show that the little bit is extremely powerful. It's incredible, how many strong people we don't know about in this universe. Son Goku looked excited and said to Vegeta, "Cut, are you so excited?" Vegeta curled his lips and said, "Son, I have to remind you not to speak nonsense at this time. That little bit can make gods of destruction so scared, definitely not an ordinary person." Piccolo glanced at the excited Son Goku and reminded him, "To know who to destroy, these guys can destroy a universe in an instant. And a character who makes gods of destruction tremble, his horror is unimaginable." Thing. Chapter 101. Yeah, Dad, Uncle Piccolo is right, that little guy must be very powerful. So this time, you must not be impulsive. Son Gohan also quickly reminded in a low voice. "You know, when gods of destruction Beerus came, my father was very excited. If it weren't for the last Shenron telling the way to become their Super Saiyan God, maybe the Earth had been destroyed by Beerus. Ah, you two don't have to worry so much. Even Lord Beerus and Whis are afraid of him, of course I won't mess around." Son Goku smiled at the two and said, "The last time Beerus called you the Earth, he really couldn't help it. Because I had already competed against him on the planet King Kai, I had to fight hard at that time. But now he is facing a more powerful character than gods of destruction, so he will naturally not be so reckless. Master Zeno, do you have any instructions for coming to this place this time?" Beerus bit his scalp and asked. "In fact, I was very worried. Vermut and Quitella, and Champa are exactly the same. What they are most afraid of now is that Zeno is here because they are privately competing in the universe. If Zeno-sama really came for this thing this time, then the 4 of them probably won't be able to eat. Well, because you are holding games here privately, so I'm here to remind you. As the gods of destruction of the universe, your work cannot be left behind." Zeno still has a naive and calm tone. "Yes, Master Zeno." The 4 Beerus nodded quickly. "I feel my body is about to lie on the ground. Especially on the ground, at this time is already covered with dense drops of sweat. It can be seen that gods of destruction, who is arrogant, feels terrified at this time. Master Zeno, Master Beerus are more passionate about food and sleep than destruction." At this moment Whis complained. Hearing Whis' complaint, Beerus's face became more ugly, and the sweat dripping on his forehead became more and more obvious. This guy, he is not the only one who prefers food, next time he will never allow him to go to the Earth privately. Master Champa is about the same. Master Champa doesn't pay attention to his body shape at all, which leads to serious body loss, and he hasn't practiced for hundreds of thousands of years. Every time I give him a diet meal, he dislikes it being unpalatable. Hey. Vados also started to file a complaint, rubbing his eyes aggrievedly. Champa had the same horror on his face. As for Makurita and Kornik, they were relatively stable and did not speak. In this case, let's change to a gods of destruction. I feel that the human being over there seems to be very powerful, how about replacing it with him? Zeno finally fell on Qin Yu's gaze. Pointing to Qin Yu and said, what? Beerus and Champa turned pale with fright. Zeno's change of gods of destruction is not just to replace them, but to completely eliminate them. Master Zeno, we knew it was wrong. Beerus and Champa quickly admitted their mistakes. Okay, I'm joking with you. But the next time I find out that you are playing an inter-universe game privately, I will punish you very severely. Zeno still said in a calm voice. Yes, the 4 Beerus nodded quickly and agreed loudly. At this moment, Zeno walked towards Qin Yu step by step. What does that stinky kid want to do? Chin-Yu frowned tightly. It's not because I just taught Vermut and Quitella, it made him feel uncomfortable. If he wants to make a move, he doesn't even have a chance to resist. Zeno walked up to Chin-Yu and said, "You are amazing, and this game is very exciting. I haven't seen enough yet." Forehead. Hearing what Zeno said, Chin-Yu was relieved. It seems that this guy has appeared long ago, but he has been watching their games. Thank you for the compliment. Chin-Yu smiled directly and said, "Why don't you let all the universes play together next time? Maybe it will be more exciting." Zeno continued, "Well, a very good idea. But I'm just a human being in the 6th universe. I can't do this. You should ask the gods of destruction from other universes. They are the ones who really make the decision." Chin-Yu looked at Beerus and others who were lying on the ground in fright, and suddenly smiled and said. And hearing Chin-Yu's words, Beerus and others were shocked again. This fool is just trying to kill them. What Zeno said, do I still need to discuss with them? What do you think? Zeno really turned his head to look at the 4 Beerus and asked. Of course it's okay, Zeno-sama, it's fine for you to call the shots. A few of them, if they can save their lives today, they are already pretty good, so how can they dare to oppose? Ah, that's good. Zeno nodded, then continued to look at Chin-Yu, and said, Your name is Chin-Yu. I like you very much. Come and play with me if you have time. Well, I will definitely go if I have time. Chin-Yu nodded helplessly, but I didn't think that way in my heart. Zeno's disposition is like a child, and there is no way to judge his happiness and anger. It's too dangerous to be with this kind of person. Before the strength of self-protection, Chin-Yu will not have more intersection with him. Great, since that's the case, then I'll go back first. But you can't continue fighting privately, especially you few, understand? Zeno looked at Beerus and Vermut and said sternly. Yes, Master Zeno. The 4 agreed in unison. Okay, then I'll go back first. As for the next universe game, I will let Grand Priest inform you at that time. Zeno finished speaking and walked to the 2 guards again. Then the 2 guards took Zeno's hand and disappeared directly on the ring. Call. The moment Zeno left, Beerus and Champa collapsed directly on the ground. I really got my life back just now. The excitement of winning the game has been diluted. Champa said nonchalantly. The next match held by Zeno-sama will be the official match, and we will never lose next time. We have, Conic. Quitella gritted her teeth and glanced at Chin-Yu with a look of fear, and then left the unknown star with Angel Conic and the 4th universe player. Let's go too. Vermut also recovered his calm at this time, but there was endless anger in the depths of his pupils. This time the humiliation, he would never forget it, he must have revenge. Although he may not be able to defeat Chin-Yu now, it is not impossible to destroy him. After everyone in the 4th and 11th universes left, Son Goku walked up to Chin-Yu. Wow, you guys are really amazing. I didn't expect that the 2 gods of destruction are not your opponents. Fortunately, Lord Beerus didn't agree to Quitella's request before, otherwise you will be beaten to the ground. Hee. Son Goku stared at Chin-Yu excitedly and said. Cut, that Goku, what are you doing so loudly for fear that I won't hear you? Beerus was aside, his face was rather ugly. After all, admitting that a human being is better than oneself, this matter love is not glorious. Now Son Goku, a brainless guy, said this thing so loudly, and he couldn't refute it. It's that the 2 gods of destruction are too weak. Chin-Yu answered indifferently. In fact, the strength of Vermut and Quitella is not weak. You should know that in the Dragon Ball Super comics, the battle between destruction is at the end only Quitella and Beerus. Vermut, on the other hand, pretended to be injured, lying on the ground waiting for the opportunity. So even if there is a gap in the strength of the 3, that gap is definitely not obvious. Hey, it's a shame not to fight with you today. Son Goku continued. In fact, he always wanted to compete with Chin-Yu. Even if you know that you are inferior to him, you can know how strong he is. In this way, oneself will have more motivation to cultivate. Don't worry, there will be opportunities to fight in the future. But you can be prepared. With your current strength, I can beat you with a single finger. Chin-Yu's words sound exaggerated, but they are true. Son Goku is only the strength of Super Saiyan Blue, and he has reached the level of Angel. It's no joke to beat Son Goku with one finger. Ah, I will definitely practice hard after I go back. Well, we should go back, there will be a period later. Son Goku waved his hand to Chinyu, and then went straight back to the audience of the 7th universe, leaving with Beerus and Whis. Alright Champa, take out the Super Dragon Ball. After everyone in the 7th universe left, Chinyu looked at Champa and said. Actually, I really want to see if Super Shenron can do it. Of course, he didn't have much hope for this matter. It's just that I said before that the condition for participating in the competition is Super Dragon Ball, so I won't let it go now. Vados, take out the Super Dragon Ball. Champa can only speak to Vados. In fact, he was still quite reluctant. After all, I have collected Super Dragon Balls for more than 10 years and only collected 6. Now I'm going to give in all of a sudden. Okay Lord Champa. Vados nodded. Then the staff in his hand waved gently. 6 golden Dragon Balls the size of a planet appeared around the unnamed star. Wrap the nameless star. It's so big. Is this the Super Dragon Ball? Each one is bigger than the planet Salada. Gabe, Cafes and others looked shocked. Although they have heard of Super Dragon Ball, they didn't expect this thing to be so huge. Mr. Chinyu, there are only 6 Super Dragon Balls, so it's useless if you hold them. Vados reminded, only 7 Super Dragon Balls can summon Super Shenron and then make a wish. There are only 6 now, and he and Master Champa have searched for it quickly, but there is no way to find the last 4 planets. Who said there are only 6? Well, you just take them to the universe and watch them. Chinyu smiled and said mysteriously. Others may not know where the last Super 4 planets are, but as a traverser, he is very clear. This so-called unknown star is the last Super Dragon Ball. Although Vados didn't understand Chinyu's plan, he obediently walked directly into the universe shuttle box with others. After everyone left the nameless star, Chinyu's toes lightly nodded the nameless star. Click, click, the surface of the nameless star instantly cracked, and after the dark red coating cracked, golden rays of light directly shot out from the crack. What, those golden lights, could they be? Champa looked dazed, his eyes blazing at the golden color shot by the unknown star. This unnamed star will not be the last Super 4 planet I have searched for several years. Perhaps you guessed it right, Lord Champa, the unnamed star is the last Super Dragon Ball. Vados was also very surprised. After all, with his own abilities, he didn't even realize that the last Dragon Ball was an unknown star. Cut, how did Chinyu know? Champa wondered, Chinyu is just a human being. I must have never been in contact with an unnamed star. But he clearly knew just now that the unknown star is the last Super Dragon Ball. Master is really amazing. Unexpectedly know that the unknown star is the last Super Dragon Ball. Gabe and others looked excited. In their hearts, Chinyu is omnipotent, much more powerful than these so-called gods. At this time, the coating on the surface of the unknown star has completely disappeared. A golden Super 4 planet appeared. 7 Super Dragon Balls are all gathered. It's just that Chinyu didn't want to make a wish directly in this place, and then with a thought, he directly put the Super Dragon Ball into the system. This operation stunned everyone for a while. After all, Chinyu is just an ordinary human, without the superpowers of Angel. Now, the Super Dragon Ball the size of 7 planets has disappeared in an instant. Okay, I'll go back. It is estimated that the competition mentioned by Zeno will be held soon, and you should also practice hard. After putting away the Dragon Ball, Chinyu returned to the universe box and said. After that, Chinyu and others returned to Shahada again. On the way back, Chinyu also learned from Vados the word of God that summons Shenron. After returning to planet New Sarada, Chinyu couldn't wait to summon Super Shenron, because of the feeling just now, Zeno's sense of danger made him quite uncomfortable. With Chinyu's heart moving, 7 Super Dragon Balls appeared in the universe, enclosing the planet Sharada in it. It's too big. If this Dragon Ball summoned Shenron, how big would it be? The 18th, who has always had a stable personality, also showed a surprised expression on his face. You know, the Shenron summoned by Namek's Dragon Ball are already behemoths. Shenron, summoned by such a huge Super Dragon Ball, shouldn't be half the size of a universe. Want to see? I will summon Super Shenron right away. Chinyu looked at number 18 and smiled, and said. Then suddenly with a wave of his hand, a huge energy barrier encased number 18, Kafi's and others in it. Then Qin Yu's body, an instant transmission, appeared directly in the universe. Come out, Dragon of God, to fulfill my wish, I want to send Word of God. He had asked Vados for the Word of God before, so it was easy to summon Shenron. Just after Qin Yu's voice fell, the huge Super Dragon Ball emitted a dazzling golden light. At that moment, the entire sixth universe was rendered directly into golden yellow. Buzzing, the Super Dragon Ball hummed and the golden light kept flickering. In the next second, the golden light flew directly from the Super Dragon Ball and gathered in the universe. Rumble. At that moment, the entire universe was shaking violently. Roar. With a deafening howl, Super Shenron appeared in front of Qin Yu. Different from Shenron Palunga of Earth Shenron and Namek, Super Shenron is full of golden light and has a pair of small wings behind him. The body is very huge. In front of him, Qin Yu and others are like dust. Swish. Super Shenron's wings slammed twice, and the planets in all directions were directly slapped out. Roar. Super Shenron roared again, swallowing countless planets into his mouth with a big mouth. This, isn't it too big? No. 18, Kafi's and others are all surprised. Now it is very shocked. Although they had long thought that the size of Super Shenron might reach this level. But when it really appears in front of you, it will inevitably be very shocking. Don't be so surprised, what we see now is only the body of Super Shenron. If I didn't guess wrong, we should be in its body now. Looking at the shocked people, Qin Yu spoke lightly. I remember that Whis explained that when Beerus and the others summoned Super Shenron. The body of Super Shenron is definitely quite shocking. It's just that what they see now is only the body in Super Shenron's body. Human, speak your wish. I can help you realize any wish. Super Shenron's deep voice rang. My wish is, I want to get Xeno's erasure ability. Qin Yu narrowed his eyes slightly, and said word by word. In fact, other wishes are not too attractive to me. What an immortality, eternal life. What an immortal body. There is no attraction to him now. The most feared people Jin Yu now are Xeno and Grand Priest. As long as he possesses Xeno's erasure ability, there is no need to fear him. At least, I have at least some self-protection cards in front of them. Xeno's erasure ability. I'm really sorry, I can't realize this wish, you should change another wish. After hearing Qin Yu's wish, Super Shenron was stunned, then shook his head and said. Sure enough, there is no way to achieve it. Qin Yu raised his brows slightly. In fact, before making a wish, he knew that there would be an 80% possibility, and there was no way to realize this wish. After all, Xeno is the strongest god above all the apex of the universe. Although Super Shenron was created by the dragon god Salama, the dragon god Salama was only the Grand Priest before. So the things he created couldn't compete with Xeno, which was expected. The reason why Qin Yu made a wish just now was just a glimmer of hope. Well, since you can't realize your previous wish, then now I make a new wish to give me the ability to ignore Xeno's erasure. Qin Yu continued to speak. No, I can't realize this wish. Super Shenron shook his head again. Said that he could not realize this wish. Is there no way to achieve this wish? Then you Super Shenron is a little too useless, right? Qin Yu was a little disappointed. There is no way to copy Xeno's erasing ability. Now there is no even the ability to resist Xeno's ability. It really disappointed him. In that case, copy Angel's ability. Qin Yu thought for a while and could only say so. In fact, he really wanted to talk about copying the capabilities of Grand Priest. Just after thinking about it, Shenron couldn't do this kind of thing. After all, the strength of the Grand Priest is the top 5 in the universe according to Whis, which is a complete mess. He also directly ignored this wish. Okay, I can help you realize this wish. Super Shenron nodded. Well, then Super Shenron's eyes flashed with scarlet light. Well, your wish has been fulfilled. Successfully replicated Angel's normal Ultra Instinct, time backflow, face-to-face control of the flow of time, creation out of thin air, monitoring the entire universe, ultra-high-speed movement, resurrection and so on. Super Shenron nodded and realized Qin Yu's wish. Then, there will be a period later. After the voice of Super Shenron fell, it directly turned into 7 Super Dragon Balls. Then flew to a different location. The entire universe returned to its original appearance, and the planet that was eaten by Super Shenron just now looked like an illusion. How about, has the wish come true? Number 18 looked at Chin-Yu and asked. It's realized. Although it's not the result I wanted at the beginning, it's not without gain. Chin-Yu nodded and said. The ability to copy Angel seems to be very good. Especially now that Chin-Yu can integrate Ultra Instinct into normalcy. In this way, it will be more convenient in the future. No need to deliberately turn on Ultra Instinct again. That's great. You are too tired for a while, please take a good rest recently. Number 18 said to Chin-Yu with a look of concern. You should know that Chin-Yu has hardly rested during the past period of time, and has been mentoring Brawly and Cafes. Okay, then I'll take a good rest. I'm afraid that some people may not want me to rest. Chin-Yu raised his head and looked at the sky, and said faintly. This time he severely humiliated the destruction into Vermut and Quitella. With their careful character, it is estimated that they will never let it go. I guess I will think of some way to retaliate myself. But if they dare to do this, it would be too stupid. At this time, Vermut, Quitella and others will also arrive in their respective universes. And at this time in the Gods of Destruction in the 11th universe. Unforgivable, I can't swallow this breath. Dangtang Gods of Destruction was so humiliated by a human being, and Master Zeno almost got rid of it. That ant. Gods of Destruction Wei Meide clenched his fists tightly, and the clown's face was full of gloom and anger. This incident is definitely the biggest humiliation he has suffered since he became Gods of Destruction. Topo, you go find Jiren now and tell him about the 6th universe Chin-Yu. Tell him, by the way, that guy is likely to destroy his whole family. Vermut said to Topo with an extremely gloomy expression. The guy Jiren's own strength really surpassed him, so this guy is extremely arrogant. As Gods of Destruction, he doesn't take his commands seriously. This time I asked him to participate in the game between universe, but he also rejected it directly. So it's the same hateful fool. Master Vermut, I think Jiren's genocide enemy should be someone else. It can't be Chin-Yu of the 6th universe. Topo frowned and said, this is too unreasonable. Chin-Yu's strength is indeed very strong, but he shouldn't go to the 11th universe to destroy Jiren's family. He doesn't have that motive. If I let you go, where does all the nonsense come from? Vermut was in anger at this moment, and shouted directly. Just let Jiren touch that fool. At most, it means being killed. The guy who keeps ordering by yourself doesn't matter if it is dead. Topo frowned tightly. Jiren is his partner and a member of the Proud Team. He dedicated too much for the 11th universe, and because of his existence, the 11th universe is also very peaceful. Many people are frightened by the name of Grey Jiren. In fact, he knew very well that although Jiren was very strong, his strength might have surpassed Master Vermut. But Chin-Yu can defeat 2 Gods of Destruction in an instant. If Jiren and Chin-Yu run into each other, it is no exaggeration to say that they will only be killed. So this thing, I don't want to do it. In this way, the 11th universe will lose a very powerful fighter. What's the matter? You didn't even listen to me when you came here. I tell you, I can make you a candidate for Gods of Destruction, and I can also kill you, so you better not challenge my patience. Vermut threatened coldly. Topo looked up at Vermut. He found that Vermut had changed. The previous Vermut was more like a gentleman, and he was very talented. But after being defeated by Chin-Yu of the 6th universe today, he was like a completely different person. This is not the Lord Gods of Destruction Vermut I knew before. I won't go. Master Vermut's actions will kill Jiren. If Jiren is killed, it will definitely be a huge loss for the 11th universe. I hope you can think about it again. Topo gritted his teeth and spoke to Vermut. Although he knew that if he resisted Vermut in this way, he might be killed directly. But even if he was killed, he couldn't do such a thing. Things that do not live or die, what do you think you are, dare to disobey my orders? Vermut's face turned hideous, and then a destructive energy was condensed in his palm. This kind of disobedient candidate Gods of Destruction, don't worry. Wait a minute, dear. Makarita suddenly stopped in front of Vermut with her staff. Why Makarita, do you want to stop me too? Gods of Destruction Wei Meide glanced at Makarita and asked coldly. Angel is not allowed to intervene in Gods of Destruction's decision. I don't want to stop it, I just want to remind that the match held by Zeno-sama should be implemented soon. With the character of Lord Zeno, the universe who loses the game will definitely be severely punished. If you kill Toppo now, and even Jiren can't tolerate it, how much do you think the 11th universe will win in the game? Makarita said seriously this time. Logically speaking, these things are not something Angel should worry about at all. Hearing Makarita's words, Vermut's eyes twitched. What Makarita said was true. Just now, I was dazzled by humiliation and anger. I can't attack Toppo and Jiren right now. They are all the top combat power of the 11th universe. If they are killed, the 11th universe does not have any hope of winning the game. Not to mention the group of people in the 6th universe, even those Saiyans in the 7th universe would probably not be able to beat. Cut, I don't want this kind of contradicting me to happen in a while. Vermut said to Toppo coldly, and then withdrew his destructive energy. Toppo was also relieved. Well, from now on, you will gather the strongest fighters in the universe to prepare for the upcoming game. Vermut still commanded coldly. Yes, Master Vermut. Toppo could only nod his head. It is inevitable to be disappointed with Vermut in his heart. After all, the previous Vermut was an idol in his mind and a role model in Gods of Destruction. But today, everything has changed. Then left the Gods of Destruction world. Toot toot. After a few minutes, the jewel of Makarita's staff suddenly flickered. Dear, it's the video call of the 4th Lord Universe Quitella. Do I need to connect? Makarita looked at the perception stick and said to Vermut. Quitella. Vermut's eyes rolled. It is estimated that the most angry person is not only oneself, Quitella must be the same as herself. And the guy Quitella was more uncomfortable than himself, so he contacted himself at this time. It is probably also for Chinyu's business. Connect. Vermut suddenly smiled coldly and said. That being the case, I can just plan with Quitella, and even make use of other unknowing gods of destruction. All right, dear. Makarita nodded, and then connected to Quitella's video. Quitella's projection appeared in front of Vermut and Makarita. Yo Vermut, are you getting angry right now? Quitella spoke with a sinister smile. Don't ask knowingly, Quitella. Presumably your mood now is not much better than me, are you? The attack from behind was subdued by someone else, huh? Vermut hummed softly and said. Sure enough, just after Vermut's voice fell, Quitella's mouth twitched slightly. The smile on his face also disappeared little by little, and then he showed an angry look. Well, there is no need to talk about each other's ridicule. I contacted you this time to find a way to properly sanction that lawless human being. Quitella stated her purpose. In fact, even if he didn't say Vermut, he would have guessed it a long time ago. Quitella is probably more anxious for revenge than himself. Tell me your thoughts. You should be very clear that even if the two of us join forces, they are not his opponents at all. Besides, the human level of your 4th universe doesn't seem to be very high. Vermut said to Quitella. Although they all want revenge, this is not an easy task. If there is a battle with Chinyu head-on, even if the two of them join forces, there is absolutely no guarantee of victory. Of course I know this. With the strength of the two of us, we really can't win. But if there are other gods of destruction to help, wouldn't it be much easier? I don't believe that he can challenge all gods of destruction by himself. Quitella said in a very gloomy tone. In fact, he had already thought about it. He could instigate the gods of destruction in other universes, and jointly kill the human in the 6th universe. Presumably, in the face of universe's survival, they will all agree. The help of other gods of destruction. Are you sure you can move everyone? And Beerus and Champa, 2 guys, they certainly won't agree. Vermut asked coldly. You know Chinyu is a human in the 6th universe. The power conference held by Zeno should be held soon. As the gods of destruction of the 6th universe, Champa will certainly not personally fold his universe's trump card. As for the guy Beerus, he didn't dare to shoot Chinyu in the previous game. I guess it's also very hanging this time. Gods of destruction Hareth of the 2nd universe always talks about love and love. He knows to maintain peace, and he probably won't participate. I can't guarantee that fellow Champa. But guy Beerus, there is no reason not to participate. Last time he released the water, it didn't really affect the 7th universe, and this time. I guess he won't stand by and watch. Quote. Quitella said in a gloomy tone, quite confident. Okay, but wait for now, wait for Zeno-sama to inform about the game. It may be more convincing to contact other gods of destruction at that time. If Zeno-sama is in the eyes of the universe penalty for losing the game this time, it is estimated that many gods of destruction will find ways to win with some means. At this time passed quickly, and half a month passed quickly. After half a month's rest, it's really refreshing. But now I can't continue to rest, I have to go to other universes to inquire about the situation. In the palace on the planet Salada, Chinyu said to the 18th and everyone. Although Quitella and Vermut did not bother themselves in the past 2 weeks. But he didn't think the two men were so peaceful. After being humiliated, I obediently admit it. If they expected it well, these two guys must feel that they are not their opponents, so they are most likely to contact other gods of destruction. Master, let me follow you this time, right? Brawley said. No, this time I can go alone. Your task is to take good care of the 18th, and you can't let her make any mistakes, understand? Chinyu looked at Brawley and the others seriously, and said. What I worry most about now is number 18, because her strength is the weakest. Although he helped him cultivate, he was just an ordinary human being after all, and his cultivation speed was incomparable to Brawley and the others. Okay, Brawley nodded. Speaking of which, with the master's strength, he doesn't need his own protection at all. No matter what you do, you must pay attention to safety. On the 18th, he walked to Chinyu and said softly. Chinyu's strength is getting stronger and stronger, but the opponents he meets are getting more and more terrifying, and the danger is naturally getting higher and higher. As his woman, I can't help him, sometimes I feel really guilty. But there is no way, even if he is practicing desperately, his improvement is not as good as Brawley and Kafi's. Well, don't worry. Even if it's for you, I won't do anything. Chinyu kissed number 18 on the forehead lightly, and smiled dozingly. And Kafi's on the side looked envious. In fact, she really hopes that she can become the 18th. After speaking, Chinyu went directly to instant transmission and disappeared from everyone's sight. When Chinyu's body appeared again, it had reached the 10th universe. After copying Angel's abilities, Chinyu can clearly judge all universes. The gods of destruction of the 10th universe is the elephant Rumshi, Supreme Kai Kavas. Of course, the strongest Chinyu is interested in Lori Angel Kessie of the 10th universe. This time I come to the 10th universe, and it is estimated that I will be able to see it. Zamasu's universe. In that case, let's check out the Supreme Kai candidate, Zamasu. Chinyu thought for a while, and then felt the spirit of God in the universe. Call out. In the next second, Chinyu's body suddenly disappeared. When it reappears, it has reached the Supreme Kai realm of the 10th universe. Kavas and Zamasu are tasting at this time. Zamasu, your tea is still as clear as ever. Only people with pure and innocent souls can make such clear tea. Jivius sipped the tea and said to Zamasu with a face of enjoyment. At this time, it was just like an older, kind elder complimenting his younger generation. Thank you Master Jivius for your compliment. Zamasu smiled, then asked. What is Master Jivius looking at? And at this time, in the crystal ball in front of the most Gevas, a scene was happening at this time. In the Barbary star of the 10th universe, two animal-like creatures are fighting each other. Too cruel. Jivius shook his head. Good money king, Master Jivius, why don't you just clean up such an ugly guy? Zamasu's tone was low, but very calm. Looking at the two animals fighting in the crystal ball, his face showed disgust. Clean up? What do you mean, Zamasu? Kavas raised his head and glanced at Zamasu, and then at the tea in the cup. It had become a little muddy. It means to clear it out directly. Zamasu still said calmly. Hey Zamasu, what nonsense are you talking about? That's the responsibility of gods of destruction. We are Supreme Kai, understand? Jivius looked at Chinyu reproachfully and said. Zamasu's character seems to have changed. Call out. And just when Zamasu wanted to continue speaking, suddenly a figure appeared in front of them. Humanity. The two of them hurriedly looked around, frowning their brows. And this figure that appeared suddenly, naturally, was Chinyu, who wanted to visit Zamasu. I don't care how you got here, get out of the gods now, I can spare your life. Before Jivius spoke, Zamasu looked at Chinyu with gloomy eyes, and ordered with a cold tone. Zamasu, don't be too unreasonable. Kvass quickly stopped Zamasu. After living for nearly 100 million years, he can naturally feel the difference in this human being before him. There seemed to be a very dangerous feeling in his body. And that sense of danger seems familiar, as if you have seen it somewhere. Master Jeevius, this is the Supreme Kai world, the world of filthy human beings. This is a defilement to the world and the gods. Zamasu looked at Chin-Yu coldly and said, originally, he didn't have a good impression of human beings, and he always felt that God should be aloof and dominate all things in the universe. And human beings are always so greedy for a trace of greed, raising their butcher knife and swinging at their compatriots. Just now is the best example. On the Barbary Star just now, those two stupid creatures killed each other for food. This is human nature, greed, dissatisfaction, evil, and dirty. Little green skin, wipe your mouth before you speak, be careful I will tear it apart. Chin-Yu glanced at Zamasu and said with a faint smile. Chin-Yu is not too angry. First of all, he is very clear that Zamasu, this guy, has a very deep resentment towards humans. Secondly, his strength is too weak. In my own eyes, it is like a small bug. If a small bug provokes myself, I don't care about it at all. Who is your excellency? If I didn't guess wrong, you shouldn't be in the 10th universe. Jeevius asked, staring scorchingly. I am indeed not a member of the 10th universe, I am here purely curious. But the Supreme Kai intern next to you seems to have a lot of prejudice against humans. Does such a guy deserve to be Supreme Kai? Chin-Yu said lightly. Jeevius hesitated, he glanced at Zamasu. If it is the former Zamasu, I am sure that he will become a good Supreme Kai. But during this period of time, after his mission, his Xingxing seemed to have changed a lot. Especially after seeing humans, or when talking about humans, he couldn't calm down, and the tea he brewed was muddy. If there is such a deep resentment towards humans, then he is really not suitable for being a Supreme Kai. Shut your mouth, human. Don't try to provoke our relationship. You now quickly get out of the Supreme Kai world, otherwise, I'm not polite to you. Zamasu squeezed his fists and narrowed his eyes slightly. There was a cold killing intent between the data. Zamasu. After feeling the murderous aura emanating from Zamasu's body, Jeevius hurriedly yelled. This guy is almost going crazy. The prejudice against humans is too deep. Master Jeevius, if this guy doesn't want to leave, let me send him away. Zamasu went directly to Chin-Yu step by step. Stop it, Zamasu. Jeevius shouted loudly, but Zamasu turned a deaf ear. He wanted to protect Zamasu. A human being can appear in the Supreme Kai world out of thin air, and can feel very dangerous from her body. That means this guy is very powerful. Although Zamasu is stronger than Supreme Kai in other universes, he may not be able to beat the guy in front of him. Call out. Zamasu's body jumped directly, and the hand knife hit Chin-Yu's eyebrow heavily. Bang! The next second, when Zamasu's hand knife was only 5 centimeters away from Chin-Yu's body, it suddenly stopped. It was like being blocked by an invisible force. What's the matter? The attack was blocked by something invisible, Zamasu suddenly panicked. I have also fought with Supreme Kai of other universes, but each Supreme Kai of the universe is in my own hands. Why can a mere human being able to block his own attack? And he didn't do anything at all, it seemed that his anger had blocked his attack. Just as fierce as a little teddy, the attack is weaker than a mosquito bite. Oh, he is indeed the weakest god. Chin-Yu shook his head disappointedly, and said. Dirty humans, don't be too presumptuous in front of God. Hearing Chin-Yu's words, Zamasu was instantly furious. An angry flame spurted in his eyes. This guy, the obsession seems to be deeper than Vermut and the others. Stop Zamasu, you are not his opponent. Jeevius quickly reminded. He felt that if this continued, Zamasu might be killed. Bang bang bang. Zamasu launched attacks one after another, but couldn't hit Chin-Yu every time. This makes him even more angry. What a useless god. For the sake of hundreds of millions of innocent humans in the future, I will show kindness and solve you. Chin-Yu's right hand suddenly protruded, and the index and middle fingers directly touched the center of Zamasu's eyebrows. No. Impossible. How could this lowly human being so fast? Zamasu's attack came to an abrupt end, and the feeling of death surrounded him, sweating instantly. Intuition tells him that if he moves again, he will be killed. The weak and incompetent god, you can go to death. Chin Yu's voice fell, and there was a sudden burst of destructive energy. Zamasu, Chin Yu, don't kill him. Along with the sound of breaking through the air, a familiar figure came into my ears. Destroy. Chin Yu's voice also sounded almost simultaneously. Ah! Zamasu's screams of horror echoed in the god realm, but his body turned into purple spots little by little, and then disappeared. At the same time, Son Goku, Beerus and Whis appeared in the Supreme Kai world. Master Beerus. Jeevas hurriedly greeted Beerus. Roar! It seems that Mr. Chin Yu is one step ahead. Whis spoke lightly. In fact, when they came to the gods of destruction world of the 10th universe this time, there were things they wanted to verify. The cooperation of Zamasu is required. But now Zamasu has been destroyed by Chin Yu. It's a pity, it's a step late. Son Goku also looked regretful. He still wanted to fight Zamasu. I heard that guy defeated God Jebet some time ago. Your guess is correct, so there is no need to confirm it. Since you are in the 10th universe, it means that the Dark Man in the future time and space has appeared. Chin Yu looked at Son Goku and the others lightly and said, I was thinking about doing a good thing and saving those poor humans. But now it seems that he has not changed the history of the future time and space, and the Dark Man and Zamasu still appear. What? You know our intentions, and even the Dark People. Son Goku looked shocked, looking at Chin Yu and asked. We must know that this event happened in the future time and space, and most people in the future time and space have been killed by the Dark People, and the survivor Trunks also came to this time and space at the risk of death. Then he told them about the Dark People. Chin Yu is Saiyan of the 6th universe. He shouldn't have been to the 7th universe in this period of time, and it is impossible to know about Trunks and the Black Dark People. But listening to what he said now, he not only knew about the Dark People, but also seemed to know very well. What's going on? Whis. Why does he know about the Dark Man? Is it possible that he was in the 7th universe at that time? Beerus frowned, also quite puzzled, then looked at Whis and asked. It is very likely that when Trunks said this, Chin Yu was eavesdropping in the 7th universe. Impossible, Lord Beerus. Mr. Chin Yu has never been to the 7th universe. I never felt his anger in the 7th universe. Whis shook his head and said firmly. In fact, he was also very surprised. Is it possible that this Chin Yu has the function of an unpredictable prophet? In this case, how did you know about the Dark Man? And so sure that Zamasu is the Dark Man? Son Goku looked at Chin Yu again and asked. He is so curious. Chin Yu is not only powerful, but also so mysterious. How I know, you don't have to worry about it. Because I know more than you think. Chin Yu said lightly. It can be said that in this world, no one knows these things better than him. Everyone, wait a minute. Master Beerus, what's the matter with the Dark Man you just mentioned? And what does this matter have to do with Zamasu? Jeevius asked in a puzzled way. What Dark Man? What future time and space? He was stunned to hear. In short, that Zamasu became a very evil god in the future, and he also robbed this guy's body. Beerus pointed to Son Goku and said. What? How could this happen? Although Zamasu has had some problems with his mentality during this period, he still wouldn't become a Cthulhu. Jeevius seemed a little unbelievable. In any case, Zamasu is half of his apprentice. How could he do such a thing? Don't believe it. If we appeared a little bit later, you might have been killed by him. All Supreme Kai and gods of destruction in the future time and space were killed by him, including all humans. You should be very aware of his prejudice and resentment towards humans. It is not strange to do such a thing. Hearing what Kavas said, Chin Yu said lightly. Zamasu sent by himself, this guy killed Jeevius directly, and then used his space-time ring to travel to the future. Then teamed up with the future self to snatch Son Goku's body, and then used the Super Dragon Ball to get the immortal body. Before, he thought that killing Zamasu would not happen, but now it seems that the future history has not changed because of this. Hearing Chin Yu's words, Jeevius frowned tightly. Indeed, Zamasu has big prejudices about humans. It doesn't seem strange for him to do this kind of thing. Master Beerus, I'm really sorry that Zamasu has caused you such a big trouble. Jeevius can only apologize to Beerus. You don't need to apologize to me, I just accompany this guy on a trip. Beerus curled his lips and said. If Son Goku hadn't come, he wouldn't have come to the 10th universe. This matter has been figured out, so let's go back first, Whis. Beerus said to Whis. In fact, he didn't want to see Chin Yu. There is always an inexplicable uncomfortable feeling to see him. Okay, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded. Wait a minute, Beerus. Just as Beerus and Whis were about to leave, Chin Yu suddenly stopped Beerus. Cut, what is this fool doing? Beerus frowned. Is he looking for trouble for himself? But I turned around and asked, Mr. Chin Yu, do you have any suggestions? Although Beerus and Zhang Yang on weekdays, but in front of Chin Yu is still a little scared. After all, this guy's strength really surpassed him too much. I can't talk about advice. I just want to ask, have Quitella and Vermut ever approached you? Or have they mentioned some deals with you? Those two guys would never give up, but they knew very well in their hearts that they couldn't help themselves with the strength of the two of them. Therefore, there is only one way they want revenge. That is to unite with other gods of destruction, and then deal with yourself. Quitella and Vermut. No, we haven't contacted since the last match. Beerus shook his head and said truthfully. He and those two guys weren't quite right, and there was basically no connection between them. That's good, but they will definitely contact you recently. I hope you will be smarter when that happens. You Beerus is a smart man, I think you should know what I mean. Chin Yu looked at Beerus and said in a threatening tone. If they really want to join hands to deal with themselves, I will definitely solve them all one by one. Beerus, this guy, isn't actually annoying him. So Chin Yu kindly reminded her. Hearing Chin Yu's threatening tone, Beerus's face was ugly. As the gods of destruction of a universe, when has it been so threatened by a human? What's even more annoying is that he still dare not talk back. Go, Whis. Beerus gritted his teeth, and then left the Supreme Kai realm directly. After Beerus and others left, Chin Yu looked at Jeevius and reminded him, Jeevius, the next time you choose Supreme Kai as an internship, keep your eyes open, otherwise you don't know when you will die. I understand. Jeevius nodded quickly. Although he doesn't know who this young man is. But he dared to talk to Beerus like that just now, and Beerus didn't seem to dare to talk back. This is enough to show that this guy is absolutely very powerful. Not a person that Supreme Kai can provoke. Gone. Chin Yu waved his hand, then his body flashed directly and disappeared into the Supreme Kai realm. And at the Xeno Temple at this time. Grand Priest, how are your preparations for the power conference? Above the throne, Xeno looked at the Grand Priest with big eyes and asked. Since returning from the Nameless Star half a month ago, he has handed over the power conference to the Grand Priest for full preparation. Yes, the ring has been built, and it's in Wujurji. There are still some rules of the game that have been drawn up. You will take a look at Xeno. If there is something wrong, I will modify it. Grand Priest smiled and said to Xeno very respectfully. Yeah, Grand Priest, I don't worry about you doing things, and I have left this matter to you. You decide the rules. Xeno naturally believes in Grand Priest. Thank you Xeno-sama for your trust. By the way, I remember Lord Xeno said before that some universes with relatively underground scores were deliberately erased. Then the universe, which lost in this game, will face the result of being wiped out. Grand Priest asked again. Well, I did plan that way. With the help of this competition, those universes with a relatively low comprehensive level will be directly erased. So, the first universe, the fifth universe, the eighth universe and the 12th universe with higher ratings don't need to participate in this competition. Of the remaining 8 universes, only one will survive. As a reward for the final winner, let him fulfill his wish. Xeno smiled and said. When Xeno spoke this time, it was obviously not like a child's mentality. On the contrary, he is very mature and stable, and his thinking is very clear. Oh, can only one of the 8 universes remain? Grand Priest's brows wrinkled slightly, obviously he felt a pity for the universe whose power was destroyed. But there is no way, Xeno has such capabilities and rights. Even if he is a Grand Priest, he can only give Xeno some advice and cannot influence his decision. Okay, well, I have to trouble Grand Priest to go to other universes and notify all universes of this news. Xeno said with a smile at the Grand Priest. Okay, I will do it now. Grand Priest nodded, and then walked out of the Xeno Temple. Oh, only one of the 8 universes can be left. I hope that the last one will be the last one. The wish is to restore the other 7 universes. After leaving the Xeno temple, Grand Priest said to himself with emotion. It's just that such a thing is obviously not possible. As a Grand Priest, he knows very well that both humans and gods have their own selfish hearts and desires. Giving up an omnipotent wish for other universes, it is estimated that many people will not be able to do it. After half a day, Grand Priest has notified Xeno's decision to all participating universes. This notice makes it difficult for many gods of destruction to accept. Losing the game means disappearing together with the universe. At this time, after the Grand Priest's order was communicated, a conspiracy began. Quitella and Vermut contacted all the gods of destruction at this time. Of course, except for Champa in the 6th universe. Hey Quitella, what do you want us to do? Yeah, I'm annoying, what are you looking for with us at this time? If you have something to say quickly, let it go. If you have a fart, I don't have time to waste with you here. The gods of destruction in the other universes is obviously impatient. Although the power conference organized by Lord Xeno will be held a month later. But they must now go to the universe to find candidates. 10 contestants must be selected for each universe. It is not easy to know that the selected person must be the strongest in the universe. 1 month is not ample time, so they don't have time to waste here with Quitella. Only Beerus's face was calm. He knew very well what Quitella and Vermut were going to do next. What? Everyone is so anxious to find death. Quitella finally spoke coldly. Hey, how do you guys talk? Gods of Destruction Sidra of the 9th universe asked coldly. If this guy is opening up the video at this time just to fight, then he has no time to spend with him. I'll speak for him. Everyone, you must have heard about our 4 universe competitions half a month ago. Vermut said with a gloomy face and said 0. Cut, you are embarrassed to say this kind of thing. Dignified Gods of Destruction was defeated by a human, what a shame. Gods of Destruction Hareth of the 2nd universe laughed. When he heard about this, he felt that Quitella and Vermut were really ashamed of Gods of Destruction. 2 people will be defeated by 1 human. It is undeniable that we did lose the face of Gods of Destruction. But have you ever thought that Quitella and I are not inferior to you? The 2 of us teamed up to lose to the guy in the 6th universe, so what chance do you guys in the universe have in front of him? Vermut has a sinister face, a cold smile on his face. Then his eyes swept across everyone's cheeks one by one. After hearing Vermut's painting, all Gods of Destruction were silent at this moment. They just thought that Vermut and Quitella were too embarrassing to Gods of Destruction. I didn't think too much about it. But what Vermut said now. They also want to understand. Yes, a human being who can defeat 2 Gods of Destruction by himself would participate in this power conference. So what are their chances of winning in other universes? They have their own understanding of their respective universes, and those that reach the strength of Gods of Destruction simply don't exist. If you really participate in this power conference, it will be just a formality. Think of it here. The expressions of all Gods of Destruction became serious. Let me tell you, we have no chance of winning at all, nothing at all. Participate in the power conference, we will all be the foil for the 6th universe. In the end, we will all be cleared by Master Xeno. Vermut continued coldly. When Quitella heard Vermut's words, she couldn't help but admire this guy's eloquence, and she became nervous. Then what do you 2 mean? Do you want to let all of our universes join forces in the power conference to defeat the 6th universe? Gods of Destruction Rumshi of the 10th universe asked with a heavy tone. You know this is about the life and death of universe. Cannot tolerate the slightest sloppy. If the situation is as Vermut said, then they really have no chance of winning. If the situation is exactly what the 2 of them said, maybe this is the best way. Our 7 universes will work together to solve the 6th universe, and after the 6th universe is solved, we will fight for the final victory with our own ability. Sidra also agreed. In this way, at least they will have the hope of winning. If this is the case, I also agree to join. Hareth of the 2nd universe also nodded in agreement. Beerus rolled his eyes at this moment, seeming to be thinking. Before, Chinyu clearly threatened himself to make himself smarter. Maybe you just don't want to get yourself mixed up with Quitella and Vermut. However, if you don't join forces with them, then the 7th universe will definitely be eliminated in the end. I will completely disappear. With other universes, there may be a silver lining. I think you may have misunderstood what I mean. If the power conference officially begins, no one will be able to contain the human being in the 6th universe. His strength is absolutely unimaginable for you. Even if the humans in our universe are added together, it is absolutely impossible to be his opponent. After hearing other gods of destruction's words, Vermut shook his head and said. He said this not just to make a fuss, but to speak truthfully. Qin Yu's strength is definitely beyond the imagination of other break-ups. Even if 70 players join forces, it is estimated that they cannot be Qin Yu's opponent. And there are several very powerful Saiyans in the 6th universe. That guy named Brawly, his strength is estimated to be comparable to Jiren. Then what do you mean? If none of our 7 universes is his opponent, then don't fight at all, let Zeno-sama wipe it out. Gods of Destruction Hareth of the 2nd universe said coldly. If the 7 universes can't beat one universe together, then this power conference is meaningless at all. When the time comes, it's good to go straight to the court and admit defeat. There is only one way to win this competition. That is to prevent Qin Yu from participating in the power conference, so that we universe will have a chance to survive. Vermut continued to speak somberly. In fact, he did it all for his own consideration. Team up with other gods of destruction and kill Zhao Qingyu. In this way, in the power conference, the 11th universe can be said to have no opponents. The final victory will definitely belong to the 11th universe, and can avenge the humiliation that day. This is a matter of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Understood, you mean let us help you kill Qin Yu. After Vermut's voice fell, Beerus, who had remained silent, suddenly spoke. This guy really hasn't forgotten the humiliation that day. And his wishful thinking is very good. The topo of the 11th universe is indeed very strong. According to Whis, the strongest human in the 11th universe is not a breakthrough, but a human surpassing Vermut. As long as he joins all the gods of destruction to kill Qin Yu, the 11th universe will be the universe with the biggest win. Beerus, you were right, I just want to kill Qin Yu with everyone. I know you have always been at odds with us. But this time it's not just for the sake of venting the 2 of us, but for the sake of all the universe. Only by killing Qin Yu, our 7 universes can compete fairly. Vermut said coldly at Beerus. Cut, just the little juju in your heart lied to these idiots. Okay, I have nothing to chat with you. But I still advise you, it is best not to provoke Qin Yu. That guy is not easy to provoke, then don't cause yourself to kill yourself. After speaking, Beerus directly quit the group chat. Although if Qin Yu participates in this power conference, it is very unlikely that other universes will win. But just because of their gods of destruction wanting to kill Qin Yu, it is probably impossible. It's not that I underestimated myself, but that guy is too strong. ... And at this time in the gods of destruction world of the 10th universe. Gods of destruction Rumshi also looked hesitant. He felt that Vermut was right. If you want to win in the power conference, you must first eliminate the 6th universe. The most direct way to eliminate the 6th universe is to kill Qin Yu directly, making him unable to compete. But now, even an arrogant person like Beerus dare not be an enemy of that Qin Yu. This is enough to explain the horror of that human being. Kes, do you think Vermut's words are reliable? Rumshi looked at Kessie beside him and asked. Master Rumshi, according to the current situation, what Vermut said makes sense. If the human being in the 6th universe is really so powerful, then teaming up is the best way. It's just that I tried to kill other universe players before the power conference started. If this matter is known by Zeno-sama and Grand Priest, it is estimated that Zeno-sama will directly clear it before the game has started. Kessie said to Rumshi with a serious face. Indeed, very risky. If this matter is known to Master Zeno and Master Grand Priest, the consequences will be disastrous. Rumshi frowned tightly. Now they are really in a dilemma. If they don't deal with that Qin Yu, their 10th universe has no chance of winning. But if you make a move, you will most likely be punished by Lord Zeno. Then, what about Rumshi-sama's own thoughts? Kessie asked. After all, I can only give some opinions, and the final decision is absolutely up to Lord Rumshi. This, I'm still thinking. Rumshi hovered around and couldn't make up his mind. No need to think, let me give you the answer. Just as Rumshi was hesitating and lingering, suddenly a cold voice rang. What? Who? Rumshi suddenly looked in midair, the direction the voice came from. Looking up, I saw a strange figure. Who on earth was he who was able to come down to the gods of destruction world without realizing it? Didn't you have been plotting how to solve me just now? Now that I stand in front of you, you don't even know me, don't you think it is funny? The person who came is naturally Chin Yu. After he left the Supreme Kai world of the 10th universe, he played on other planets, and then he went to the gods of destruction world. Just when I first arrived, I discovered that these guys were plotting how to sanction themselves. With her current strength, even Angel Kessie can't find herself at all. It's you, Chin Yu from the 6th universe. Rumshi's face changed drastically in an instant. Oh, is this human really so powerful? I didn't even find out when he appeared. Angel Kessie's willow eyebrows were also slightly frowned, and she whispered to herself. Do you recognize it now? Chin Yu smiled faintly, and walked towards Rumshi step by step. You, don't come over. There was a look of fear on Rumshi's face. This guy, according to Vermut, is quite powerful. Even Vermut and Quitella can kill in an instant. Isn't it a matter of minutes to defeat yourself? What's wrong? You are a dignified gods of destruction, would you still be afraid of me as a human? Chin Yu smiled, and then walked towards Rumshi step by step. By the way, I just heard you discuss it, should you join forces to kill me? I think you'd better join hands quickly, otherwise all your universes will be cleared. Chin Yu walked up to Rumshi and said with a smile on his face. At this time, Chin Yu was in front of Rumshi, and he felt the tremendous pressure like a mountain. Asshole, asshole, don't be self-righteous in front of gods of destruction. Rumshi gritted his teeth tightly, and then directly threw the destructive energy ball in his hand towards Chin Yu. Facing such an energy ball, Chin Yu almost didn't even look at it, letting it hit Chin Yu. When the destructive energy hit Chin Yu, it suddenly disappeared without a trace. What's the matter? My destruction disappeared. Doesn't the destruction have any effect on him? Rumshi stepped back subconsciously. Beads of sweat appeared on his forehead instantly. It's right to think about it. If the destructive energy has an effect on Chin Yu, then Vermut and Quitella's personalities must be rewarded. How could it be possible for a human being to humiliate them and retreat completely? Timid as a mouse, how could such a guy become gods of destruction? Chin Yu's eyes suddenly condensed, and then his body disappeared instantly. Bang! Puff! In the next second, Chin Yu's fist instantly penetrated Rumshi's chest. What? Kessie's expression on the side changed drastically. She didn't expect that Chin Yu would suddenly die in an instant and punched Lord Rumshi's chest with a punch. Then his body flashed quickly and appeared directly in front of Rumshi. No. Impossible. Quote. Rumshi's eyes were full of fear. Although he has already thought that Chin Yu is a very powerful human. But he did not expect that he would be so strong that he would directly penetrate his body in an instant. At this moment, he clearly realized that Vermut and Quitella were too naive. It is silly to think that Chin Yu can be defeated by combining with other gods of destruction. With the strength of Chin Yu, you can kill all gods of destruction without any effort. He not only has this strength, but also this courage. How is it? Now that I have the answer, do you want to unite those garbage to deal with me? Chin Yu smiled coldly, looked at Rumshi with a painful face and asked. Mr. Chin Yu, you are too much. Kessie stared at Chin Yu scorchingly. Then with a sudden wave of the staff in his hand, Rumshi's wound healed suddenly. Master Rumshi, you should postpone it first. He will kill you directly. Kessie said to Rumshi. In normal times, Angel cannot use all his strength to fight. Because in that case, Angel will disappear completely. But when the lives of gods of destruction are threatened, they can fight. As long as you don't use all your power. Well. Rumshi nodded in panic. He had just recovered his life. You are Angel, are you going to fight me too? Chin Yu looked at Kessie who was in a fighting pose, and said with a smile. I have to say that Kessie's face value is also quite high. Her face value is not weaker than Vados and Makarita. It's just that the styles of the three are different. Vados is a mature and prudent royal sister. Makarita belongs to the colder type. Kessie is a complete lowly type. Whether it is her looks or her voice. Such a woman also has a very big temptation for men. Some people like the kind that can start working directly after being hugged. In front of me, you will never threaten the life of Lord Rumshi. Kessie stared at Chin-yu and said very seriously. To be honest, I haven't fought Angel well. If that's the case, let me take a good look at Angel's power. After Chin-yu's voice fell, he directly assumed a fighting stance. Although he felt that his strength should surpass Angel. But he never played against Angel. I haven't had this opportunity, so let yourself have a good experience today. Call out. The next second, Chin-yu's body suddenly flashed out. The speed is very fast, leaving only an afterimage on the spot. Very fast, is this guy really human? The moment Chin-yu disappeared, Kessie's brow wrinkled. She didn't expect Chin-yu to be so fast. At this time, Rumshi was dumbfounded. He didn't even see Mao's movements because of Chin-yu's movements, it was too fast. He had never seen such a fast speed. Your uncle Vermut, you killed me. Rumshi cursed Vermut in his heart. If it hadn't been for him to do things, he wouldn't have gotten into this great god. While Rumshi cursed Vermut in his heart, Chin-yu had launched hundreds of attacks on Kessie. But every time Kessie dodged her. Even so, Chin-yu's speed also made Kessie a little frantic. This fool is so perverted. Unexpectedly Qian Wanghao can keep up with my speed. Kessie was shocked. You must know that their angel has integrated Ultra Instinct into the normal state, and always maintains the Ultra Instinct form. A few breaths of dodge ability max. But Chin-yu actually forced himself to retreat steadily. This guy, the strength is likely to reach the level of Angel, even surpassed Angel. It is hard to imagine, and I have never heard of such a powerful human being. Hey, you are a little careless. Chin-yu's voice suddenly rang from his ears. It's just that Chin-yu's fist was faster, and he smashed it directly at Kessie's kind little face, without leaving any hands at all. Kessie's right hand subconsciously blocked the staff in front of him, and Chin-yu's fist fell heavily on the staff. Bang! A deep crash sounded. Kessie's body directly retreated a distance of several tens of meters. The ground was plowed into a deep ravine of tens of feet. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.